Automatically.
From Three River Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's the NFL on CBS. The Washington Redskins versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi, everybody. Kurt Gowdy, Hank Stramp. Perfect day for football. The Steelers trying to stay on top of their division. They're 7-2. They're the defending kings. And Jack Pardee, the coach of the Redskins, said we can't take a double bogey, meaning we can't lose two in a row. So, what's the mental strategy here for this game, Hank Stram?
Well, the mental strategy is very obvious, Kurt. I think very obviously that the Pittsburgh Steelers, after winning two big games, one against Denver and one against Dallas, has to maintain that same high level of efficiency from an enthusiasm standpoint. And on the other hand, while the Washington Redskins have to bounce back from a surprising loss to the New Orleans Saints.
All right, the Redskins have won the toss. They're going to receive, and let's go down to the field. There he is, Barr. Matt Barr will kick it off. And the boot. Comes to Buddy Hardeman on the 11 for the Redskins. Trying to get a wall of blockers. Good return here. He's over the 30 and out to the 34. And the tackle is made by Zach Valentine, the rookie linebacker from East Carolina. All right, here they are up front. Hermeling is the left tackle. Saul's the left guard. Guzil's the center. Williams at right guard. Stark's the right tackle. And the youngster Don Warren at tight end. Buggs and Thompson the wide receiver. The backfield will be Theismann, Riggins, and Malone. First down, Redskins. Theismann on first down, throwing an out pattern. Ricky Thompson had turned the wrong way. Theismann purposely threw that ball high, though, because there were two Steelers there and there was a chance of an interception.
You know, one thing that's going to be very important for Washington this afternoon is going to be the fact that they must be able to hit their tight end, Don Warren, or Gene Fugit, both of whom have caught 10 and 11 passes respectively, but you have to have a tight end who has good speed and can lick the double zone of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Second down 10. Gene Fugit is in at tight end for the Redskins. That handoff goes to Benny Malone, and he's smacked down at the 36-yard line of the Redskins by Jack Lambert, who leads the Steelers in tackles. 3rd and 8. And now the passing backs, the receiving backs come in. Buddy Hardeman, number 22. Clarence Harmon, 38. The Redskins use a different team on every down. There's Lambert, all-pro middle linebacker, enjoying a great year. He's intercepted 5 passes. Larry Anderson is a nickel back. Dennis Winston has gone out as a linebacker. 3rd down and 8. Theismann throws it up in the air. Out of bounds is intended for Danny Buck. And it's going to be punt formation. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League. And it's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Steelers and the National Football League is prohibited. Punt formation. Doing the kicking will be Mike Bragg. He's averaged 38.5 yards a kick. The safety man is Theo Bell. Bragg has not had a kick blocked this year. High twisting spiral, an excellent kick. And they let it bounce, and it's down on the 11-yard line. Monty Coleman, the young linebacker, very fast, an impressive player, down the cover.
They were lucky that time, Kurt, because Theo Bell, the ball bounced into him, but fortunately he was able to recover that. That wasn't a fumble, but the ball hit him. But had he not recovered it, Pittsburgh recovered it, would have been the first down, really, for the Washington Redskins had they fallen on the football.
Stallworth and Swan, the wide receivers, Bradshaw, Sidney Thornton, and Rocky Blyer, the backfield. Steelers ball, their own 11. This is Thornton. He's hit at the 13. This is a good defensive team the Steelers are going against. The Redskins have allowed the fewest points this year of any team in the National Football League.
And the Steelers are number 1 in total offense. They're second rushing and 4 passing. And on the other side of the football, the Redskins are 5th in total defense, 7 against the rush and 3 against the pass.
And you just took a look at the Redskins' defense. Monty Coleman replaces Wysocki at right linebacker. 2nd down 8 for the Steelers. Their own 13-yard line. No score. We're early. Bradshaw will throw. Out it goes. There's Stallworth. And Stallworth has just caught his 42nd pass of the year. And he leads the National Football League for the most yards gained in receiving passing.
You know, I think as the game goes along, it's going to be very obvious that they're going to work on Joe Lavender, the right cornerback, which they just completed a pass in front of him on an outside move. Lamar Parrish has intercepted 7 balls so far this season. Very unusual for a quarterback, but he's one of the very best in the business, and I'm sure that they'll stay away from him and not concentrate a lot on the other side.
First down, Steelers on their own 22. That's Franco Harris out to the 25. Gets out of bounds on the 31. Franco needs 13 yards. Then he's to 8,000 yards in his career. Only the 8th back in the history of the league to reach at least 8,000 yards.
He did a good job of running on the play. The play was really designed to go either inside or outside of the offensive right tackle, Larry Brown. He started inside, jumped to the outside, and made a nice gain. Even though he had the ball in the wrong arm, he should have it on the right side, away from the pressure of the inside pursuit coming from the Washington Redskins.
Jerry Mullins out at guard. Steve Corson is in. Quick opener. That play went. And Franco Harris now has 8,000 yards. Only Jimmy Brown, O.J. Simpson, Jim Taylor, and Joe Perry have more. And the next step for Franco Harris will be Joe Perry, who has 378 more yards.
This was a trap play by the right tackle, right guard Steve Corson, 77. They trapped the defensive right tackle, Dyron Talbert, and he popped through there for a nice gain.
First down. Steelers. Thornton. He's hemmed in and he's hit for a loss. They poured in on him that time. Olkowitz, the middle linebacker, was one of the players. He's number 52. He's a member of the pole line. Dusick is the left linebacker. Olkowitz, the middle linebacker. Wysocki, the right linebacker. They're all Polish.
And how about they just got through playing the Pennsylvania Polka, the theme song of the Polish Prince, Bobby Benton.
What do you think he's rooting for today? Huh?
He's from right down the street. He's very big here, like he is all over the country.
2nd down, 10. No score. Look at that charge. Oh, what a charge by Dave Butts. Butts really penetrating, off on the snap, hit Sidney Thornton and stops him for a half-yard loss, and suddenly the Steelers now are 3rd and 10.5.
Watch Butts. He comes across there. Nobody blocks him. It's always nice to be a defensive lineman and come across the line of scrimmage, get penetration when nobody touches you.
3rd down, 10.5. Jim Smith's in there. 3 wide receivers for the Steelers. Bradshaw out of the pocket. The pass is complete, but it may be short. It's for Stallworth, who, by the way, now has caught passes in 38 consecutive games. The club record is held by Shanklin, 40 games in a row, and they're short of a first down.
You know, Terry Bradshaw really delivered a great pass that time. The safety man, Houston, was coming over to make a play, so he evidently saw him coming from the inside, threw the ball a little bit outside. Stallworth still made a great catch, but it wasn't enough for the first down.
Buddy Hardeman, the safety man for the Redskins. Craig Colquitt will punt. Now, he is the only 2-step kicker in the league. Now, watch him. He'll take the snap and go only 2 steps. Most of them are 3-step kickers. 2 steps is the advantage to get the ball away quickly. There it is. 2 steps up. Hangs it up there nicely. Hardeman calls for the fair catch. Fumbles the ball. And the fumble helped him pick up 3 yards as he's on it on the 20-yard line, where the Redskins will take over when we resume here in the first period with no score.
Gentlemen, tonight we're brought together here by 2 from Miller. I want to take this opportunity myself to tell you. I have no respect.
Gaston, je dis saignant. Si elle est pas saignante, sounds good, but what is it? Meatloaf sandwich and a light.
Gentlemen, we all know and appreciate, light has 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it's less filling.
But the best thing is it tastes great.
Less filling. Gentlemen.
Hey, Deacon, pass the roll. Hey, Charlie, that's my beer. No, this is by your broccoli.
This is my broccoli.
That's my beer.
What's wrong with you guys?
Hey, Bubba, you want the peas? Ooh. You gonna eat all that?
Just showing off.
Gentlemen, in closing, I'd like to think I speak for all of us, but I say if it wasn't for light, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Hey, you're profound.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Boy, what a year they've had here in Pittsburgh. Super Bowl champs. January, the Steelers, World Series baseball champs, the Pirates. They won a lot of champions here during the decade of the 70s in this city. John Riggins, 2 yards, and he got him the hard way. It was finally Lambert who hauled him down with some help from J.T. Thomas, number 24. McDaniel comes in to replace Danny Bugs as a wide receiver. Warren is out, and Fugit checks in as a tight end. We're not going to try and give you all these changes because Pardee changes 3 or 4 players on every down. Or check in on the key one. 2nd down, 8. Heading alone, John Riggins with the setbacks behind Joe Theismann. Theismann tosses, completes it to John McDaniel, and he should have it up for the 1st down as he crossed his 30, taken out of bounds by the left linebacker, Jack Ham.
They were in a slot formation that time, and Ham was covering on the play, man for man. He threw the ball out in front nicely, made the catch, and of course they moved the ball and have a good 1st down situation coming up right now.
The Redskins passing attack is diversified. They had one game this year where 8 different players caught at least one pass. That was against the Eagles. They like to go to their backs a lot. There's Riggins. Riggins to the 35. They play what they call the short passing game or the high efficient passing game, and Hank Stram will explain that to you.
Well, they like to throw a lot of high percentage passes, which means they like to throw the ball to the backs in the flat or the tight end in short situations because they don't have to throw the ball very far. They don't need a lot of protection, a lot of time to protect, and so for that reason, they're very high percentage passes, kind of possession kind of passes, very much like the run.
No wide receiver, by the way, for the Redskins has caught a touchdown pass in the last 7 games. 2nd down, 7. Theismann, good scrambler. He's rolling for yardage, and he heads out of bounds on the 37. He got out of there very quickly out of bounds.
Jack Ham was coming up to make the tackle, and he exercised very, very good judgment. He was heading upfield when he saw 59 flash in front of his face. He very wisely ran out of bounds to stop the clock.
Anytime I saw Jack Lambert anywhere, up a dark alley, out in the football field, I'd head the opposite way.
Even on the dance floor.
Right. All right, Harmon and Hardiman. H&H boys are in the Redskin backfield. Robin Cole becomes the 4th linebacker for the Steelers. There's Jack Pardee, Redskin coach. Did quite a job with that club this year. Everybody thought they would have a disastrous season, but they haven't. On 3rd down, the blitz was on, or they decked him. They got to him. And in there was Robin Cole blitzing the right linebacker, number 56. So it's 4th and 5. And the Redskins will punt again.
That time they use a double wing formation, which means you have 2 people on the right side, 2 on the left of the ball, and 1 in the backfield. There was not enough people back there to protect for the pass in the event that they did blitz. He had to throw it away, and it fell incomplete.
Mike Bragg will do the punting again. And instead of Shank this one, he's mad at himself. Look at him. Disgusted. I think he hit it up on top of his ankle. It wasn't a very good kick, but it leaves the Steelers in good operating position. Kick for 19 yards. There's no score in the 1st quarter.
See, I feel at home in front of the camera. But behind the camera, I don't know the difference between a lens opening and a Broadway opening. So I rely on my Olympus OM10. My trusty OM10 gets great shots automatically. My OM10 has the smart little red light that tells me when it's okay to shoot. Oh, it's okay to shoot. Hold it, fellas! With Olympus OM10, great shots automatically.
Introducing the first new truck of the 80s, the new Ford, the long-distance champ. It has the longest range of any truck in America. With a standard 19-gallon tank plus optional tank, you've got a 38-gallon capacity. That gives it an estimated range with optional overdrive of 722 miles based on EPA ratings. The estimated highway is 1,102 miles. More than one-third the length of America on one fill-up. Ford pickups, the longest range of any truck in America.
Sunday, Ann Mira joins Archie Bunker's place as a street-smart cook who can really dish it out.
Don't be stupid.
Sunday.
Very private man there, Chuck Noll, who, if he wins today, will tie Vince Lombardi. 95 wins, 14th on the all-time list. He doesn't have too many clever quotes. He says when the post-game show is better than the game, then it's wrong. Bradshaw flipping it deep. Look out. Might be an interception. It nearly was. Ken Houston covering Franco Harris. And Franco had his back to the ball, Hank.
Yes, he didn't look like he anticipated catching the ball at all. He was running downfield. Looked like he was clearing out the area for the outside receiver, Lynn Swan. But when the ball was thrown to him, he wasn't expecting it at all. And it fell incomplete.
Second down, 10. Steelers on their 45. What a day for football. Beautiful, crisp. Buffalo leading New England 3-0. The Patriots have trouble always at Buffalo. 39-yard field goal by the Bills. Second down, 10. To Mr. Terry Bradshaw. Look at the mustache. Right down the middle. It's complete for a first down to Randy Grossman, the little tight end of Temple, who just caught his 7th pass of the season. First down, Steelers. They're on the Redskins 44. Yeah, I was surprised. I went in to see Terry today, and I saw that
soup strainer.
Yeah, I saw the soup strainer on him, and he's going to not only go on a country and western tour singing, but now he's in the gospel singing, and he's going to do some gospel singing this winter. He's the institution here, as you just saw. No score, first and 10, Steelers in Redskin territory on the Washington 44. Franco Harris. They got him. No gain. He's hit there by Troy Bacon. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Or you can teach number 79 Bacon to be better against the run. He's a tremendous pass rusher, but he's playing the run much better this year.
You know, one thing that Pittsburgh does extremely well as anybody in professional football, they like to trap, especially in even spacing, that is being employed here by the Washington Redskins, which means that you have 2 tackles over the offensive guard and a middle linebacker over the offensive center.
Second down, 10 for the Steelers. Receivers go out. Short one, nearly picked off there by number 59, Brad Disick. Intended for Lynn Swan. Now it's 3rd and 10. Philadelphia over the Browns 6-0. Jaworski to Carmichael, so Carmichael keeps that streak going. That's 106 for him. Point was missed. We had the Eagles last week. Their coach was very unhappy for Meal. And I bet that club's fired up today, Hank.
Yeah, they should be. They better be, because they have to bounce back and continue to win if they hope to be in the playoffs like they were a year ago. That time Bradshaw threw a very poor pass. He was falling away and threw it into the turf.
106 in a row for Carmichael. Let me correct myself. 3rd down, 10 for the Steelers. Deep drop by Bradshaw. He can move around too. He flips it out there. Grossman has it on a comeback. Randy Grossman came back to meet the ball. He had driven the receiver almost inside the 5 and then came back and worked himself wide open.
He was split on the left side, working on Kenny Houston, who normally is a strong safety. He had him covering man for man. Terry jumped out of the pocket, had plenty of time, was finally approached by a defensive lineman, but by that time the tight end Grossman was able to turn Houston completely around, and he was wide open, made the catch.
First down, Steelers on the Redskin 11. No score. 5:20 to go in the first period. Our first scoring threat. Out they go. Bradshaw, second look, and it's touchdown. And who's got it? Stallworth. John Stallworth makes the grab.
That's what's so great about having a quarterback move as well as Bradshaw. He was been back into the pocket, got some pressure. Watch him standing there nicely, gets some pressure, jumps over to the left side, away from all the traffic, throws across to the middle of the field to Stallworth, who maneuvered himself to be wide open in the end zone, made the catch, and they go ahead 6-0.
Matt Barr's kick up and good. So the Steelers went 55 yards in 6 plays. Our first score finds Pittsburgh leading 7-0.
Why have over 1 million people Midas-sized their brakes? Was it because they know Midas has brake mechanics that are specially trained? Was it because they know Midas has the right brake parts in stock? Or was it because they know Midas has over 20 years experience under the car? Well, whatever the reason, it certainly was no accident. It pays to Midas-size your brakes.
After all these years, I still like working out. But what I really like is the beer that's waiting for me when it's over. And if you work out the way we do, there better be a lot of beer waiting. That's why we drink light beer from Miller. Light has 1/3 less calories than regular beer, and it's less filling, and it tastes great. Take it from a guy who works out a lot. Could really use one right now.
There you go, Bruce.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Matt Barr will kick off to Buddy Hardiman. Monday night on CBS. The White Shadow, followed by MASH and WKRP in Cincinnati, all on CBS Monday night. Here's Matt Barr's kick, a high one. Hardiman waiting on the 4. He's out to the 10, to the 15, finds a hole, and is racked up on the 23. And he is hit there by number 30, Larry Anderson, a quarterback and a kick returner. Redskins ball on their 23-yard line with a first down. The Redskins have had trouble scoring in the first quarter. Only twice in their last 22 games have they scored a touchdown in the first period. Up they come. Heisman the quarterback. Malone and Riggin are the running backs. Buggs and Thompson the wide receivers. Don Warren is the tight end. Play action. Out it goes to Buggs. Buggs on a hitch pattern. Nabbed by L.C. Greenwood, number 68. And they're talking to Kenny Houston there.
That was a nice looking play action. They faked to the left. The backs were leaning to the left. He faked to the left, through the right, away from the inside pursuit of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and picked up a nice 5-yard chunk on the play.
Second down. 5 to go. 28-yard line of the Redskins. Their ball. Not much up that middle. With Joe Green and Gary Dunn in there. It's still the steel curtain here. They've allowed their opponents just a shade over 3 yards of rush this year. Joe Green isn't the dominating pass rusher he used to be, number 75, but he still plays the run very tough, smart, sheds blockers. Greenwood's had to come back at left end. Dunn and Furness are younger players. Banasak and White alternate at right end. They use 6 defensive linemen on alternate, except for Green and Greenwood. Third down, 3. Heisman nearly intercepted. A flag is down on the play. J.T. Thomas banging hard into Harmon. They threw a flag on it. Let's see what it is. Our first penalty.
Looked like it was a penalty against the Steelers.
That's holding against the Steelers. It'll be an automatic Redskin first down. The score is 7-0. Steelers leading. 3:44 to play in the first period.
Holding, number 49, defense. First.
That's on the rookie, Dwayne Woodruff, University of Louisville, who's starting in place of Johnson. Woodruff making his first start. A year ago, he was in a Louisville hospital with a brain concussion. In fact, he played with Hank Stram's son, Stu, at Louisville. First down. Benny Malone on the cutback. They gang up on him on the 37 or 38-yard line. Donnie Shell, Lambert's in there. Second down, 7.
Boy, the pursuit of the Pittsburgh team that time was excellent, and it's very difficult to take the ball from the left side of the ball to the right side of the ball. It takes so much time that by the time you get there as a ball carrier, you have to hold your block so long that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is there waiting for you, and that's what happened on the last play.
Longest run against the Steelers this year has been 21 yards in scrimmage. That was by Dorsett last week. Second down, 8. Riggins outside. He can get outside for a fullback. Finally, Donnie Shell drove him out of bounds on the 43-yard line. A gain of 5 for the Redskins, and that will leave them 3rd and 2.
That was a counter play that time run by Riggins. He made a fake to the right and then came back to his left, did a good job of outrunning the pursuit from the inside, and made a nice gain in the play.
He has a chance for another 1,000-yard season. All right, they have Harmon and Hardeman as the backs. 3rd down and 2. Will they pass or run for it? They're going to pass for it. Heisman, look, he has a first down. He hit his receiver coming out of the backfield, Buddy Hardeman, and he was pulled down by Jack Lambert. Hardeman from Iowa State, first-year player in the NFL, came out of the Canadian League.
There was a great illustration of the high percentage pass that we were talking about earlier that you brought up, Kurt. He just went down just enough for the first down, worked on a linebacker. He got the ball to him right at the numbers, and of course, it was good for the first down.
Now the Browns have bounced back. Brian Sipe, 21-yard pass to Rucker. They lead the Eagles 7-6 in the first period. First down, Redskins on their own 47-yard line. Steelers ahead 7-0. Out of the backfield is Benny Malone. That doesn't go for much. He's dropped on his 48-yard line by Jack Ham and Jack Lambert. The Redskins this week worked on one thing, better pass protection. Dallas leads the Giants 3-0. The Skins gave up 7 sacks last week to the New Orleans Saints. Frustrating game for the Skins. 21 plays they ran inside the New Orleans 10-yard line, yet they came out of the game with only 10 points.
And the Steelers have intercepted 19 passes and have 24 sacks going into this game.
Second down, 8 for the Redskins. Hardeman and Harmon are in there now. There's the setbacks. Out they go. There's a crossing pattern, and Buggs can't hold on to it. Buggs started down and then crossed over in the middle. That's Jack Ham. If you pick one player in the NFL who you said could almost be a perfect player for his position, many would pick Jack Ham as an outside linebacker.
Yes, he's exactly what you would order through the Sears catalog if you had a chance to.
Of all the linebackers at the Penn State campus has turned into the NFL, he's the best one. And there have been a lot of good ones. Robin Cole becomes the 4th linebacker. We might look for him to blitz. 3rd down, 8 for the Redskins from their 48. Cole was blitzing. The pass is complete for a first down. Nice catch by Clarence Harmon coming out of the backfield, and he was nipped around the ankles by Jack Lambert. And Harmon is an excellent pass receiving back.
Yes, he is, and Joe Theismann deserves a lot of credit. They were in a double wing formation that time. A blitz was coming inside. He got rid of the ball in good shape to the outside. Harmon made the catch. Another linebacker, halfback related play, and it's another good gain. 1st and 10 again for the Washington Redskins.
That's radar foot Mark Mosley keeping his leg loosened up. First down, Redskins on the Steeler 39. 7-0 Steelers ahead in the first period. A pump. He's going deep, deep, deep. He's got him. He hits him on the 4, and that is Ricky Thompson, number 83. The pump fake set it up. They were looking for the shorty, and then he unloaded to Thompson.
Yes, he has good field position. Backs went to the left. Fullback stayed in the block. He gave him a pump. A lot of room to throw. Threw over the top perfectly. Ricky Thompson, number 83, makes the catch. But a beautiful play, and he licked the rookie, Dwayne Woodruff, on the play.
All right, let's see what the Redskins do now in scoring range. As we just said, they didn't do it against the Saints last week inside the 10. Now they have a 1st and goal as the quarter ends here in Three River Stadium with the score, the Pittsburgh Steelers 7 and the Washington Redskins nothing.
This baby's been from Maine to Malibu, but I don't let her go nowhere without the treatment.
This is no car. This is a legend. And you better believe I give her the treatment.
STP oil treatment. Since 1964, over 500 million cans have been sold. No other brand even comes close. So do what millions do. Give your car the treatment from STP.
This sweetheart gets a treat, and this sweetheart gets the treatment.
That your dad? What's he doing?
Selling insurance.
Oh, what kind?
Nationwide.
Why?
Because he likes to sell good stuff.
Oh.
My mom's a nationwide agent, too.
Really?
She likes to help people.
Well, nationwide agents like to offer blanket protection for people's lives, health, homes, cars, businesses.
He cooks good hot dogs, too.
And they cook good hot dogs, too.
Nationwide is on your side.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see the heavyweights in action in the World Powerlifting Championships, plus Part 2 of the Battle of the NFL Cheerleaders and the conclusion of the World Series of Poker. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Kurt Gowdy, Hank Stram, second period coming up. Steelers leading 7-0.
If I were Washington in this situation on a 1st and goal, I would throw the ball on 1st and 10. They're very hard to run against in this goal line area. But this would be a good time for a play action or some kind of a pass on 1st and 4.
Joe Theismann up on the Steeler 4-yard line. Harmon, Benny Malone are the backs. And he's going to roll. He throws it high. It's incomplete. And he was passing on 1st down, but he had to hurry it. 2nd down, 4 to go for a Redskin touchdown. Thomas and Show were pouring in there on him.
Yes, they didn't go for the fake at all. Harmon faked up the middle. Had they faked to the same side of where they were trying to throw the football, I think it would have been more effective, and he might have been able to hold the outside linebackers a little bit better than he did by faking Harmon up the middle and relieving the outside linebackers of the fake pressure.
All right, they got a full house backfield. Malone, Riggins, and Harmon. Now they put Harmon on the wing. 2nd and 4 for a Redskin touchdown. That's Riggins. He may go. He's in there. They took advantage that time when they got inside the 10.
Well, they did, and they made it look easy. He faked inside, started over the right tackle, jumped to the outside, and went into the end zone without anybody touching him whatsoever. Good takeoff by the offensive line, the right side, but you see Riggins went into the middle area and bounced to the outside. This is something that he does extremely well.
So after being frustrated last week, the Redskins cash in today. Joe Theismann, one of the few quarterbacks in the league who still holds for place kicks. Mosley, that was a low one, and Mosley boots it. That is 19 out of 19 for Mosley this year. And the Redskins cap a 76-yard run in 11 plays and have tied this game up at 7-all.
Sorry. I said we are not interested in that proposal.
The meeting is next Thursday, Bill.
60 long tons on September. Fredericks, are you listening to me?
If there's one thing you should remember about this deal, not knowing how to listen has cost American business billions of dollars. Well, as one of the world's major corporations, we at Sperry are doing something about it. we've set up extensive listening programs that Sperry employees worldwide can take part in. And when you do business with Sperry Univac or any of our other divisions, you're going to discover that Sperry listens like no one you've ever done business with.
80,000! I said 80,000! No!
Sperry, we understand how important it is to listen.
Is luxury obsolete? Not at all. It's here in Lincoln Continental 1980. All the traditional look and feel of luxury driving. Now with a dramatic 41% increase in EPA estimated miles per gallon over last year. And as standard equipment, an ingenious new automatic overdrive transmission. Lincoln Continental 1980. Town car and town coupe.
Mosley will kick off on the 5-yard line. Mosley doesn't kick into the end zone usually. Larry Anderson from Terry Bradshaw's school, Louisiana Tech. It's a high kick. Anderson will be crowded. He takes it on the 6. He's up to the 15, to the 20, the 25. His forward motion stops about the 26-yard line. And down the cover is Ike Forte, who came up with the Patriots and then moved over to the Redskins. There's the story of the Washington scoring drive. By the way, that touchdown by the Redskins is only the second rushing touchdown allowed by the Steelers in the last 5 games. Pittsburgh's ball on their 26. First down. Harris and Thornton are behind Terry Bradshaw. Fake. Now the toss. Look at that crowd. There were 3 Redskins and 2 Steelers all bunched up together. 4 Redskins, actually. 6 of them jammed up against the Steelers sideline in front of the Steeler bench. And Bacon had put a hard rush on Terry Bradshaw.
They must have blown the pattern that time because they wouldn't be two receivers that close together on a pattern like the one they just threw. Really, there were 5 people in the sideline area, and one bullet would have gotten all of them.
The Steelers, despite their record, have made some mistakes this year, especially fumbling. They lead the league in losing the most fumbles, 17. 7 against Cincinnati, the game they lost. I don't care how good you are, when you give it away, you can be beaten, and beaten badly. Bradshaw on a quick drop. There he is, wide open. Look at this. Blind. Well, he's tremendous, not only getting the ball, but after he gets it, look out.
And the great thing about him is, you know, that he knows exactly where the open areas are all the time. Bradshaw goes back, a very simple drop back pattern. Protection is good. He runs inside, then outside, and has the presence to know where the pressure is coming from. That time ducked under a tackle, scampered upfield, and was finally tackled by Olkowitz, number 52.
41 yards for Lynn Swann on that catch. He's averaged 19 yards a catch. He missed 3 games with a hamstring pull. They blitzed him. Stallworth at the 15. He was dancing around like a boxer. Whether shall I jab or come up with an uppercut? I've got to make some kind of a move. Finally, his move went out of bounds where Olkowitz pushed him out.
It's amazing the way Bradshaw got rid of this football. Here they come. Olkowitz is coming right up the middle, but he got the ball up on top. The timing of the play was unbelievably good. Stallworth came back for the ball, made the catch in front of Joe Lavender, and it's another big play for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is about the story the last 4 or 5 years for this club. Swann on one side, Stallworth on the other when they get in trouble, and Bradshaw unloads that strong right arm. Look out. They can put those points up in a hurry. First down. Bradshaw down the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Swann. No flag down. The Steelers are beefing. Lamar Parrish covering. Is there a better cornerback in the league than Lamar Parrish?
I don't know if there is one. I haven't seen him. He's intercepted 7 passes already, and he did a beautiful job on that last play of knocking the ball down. He ran inside and got one arm in front and knocked the ball down. It fell incomplete.
Prince Valiant had just passed 32 yards to Johnny Perkins. And the Giants lead the Cowboys 7-3. They'll be going bananas there at the Meadowlands. Giants trying to win their 5th in a row. So 2nd down, 10. Steelers on the Redskins 12. Quick pitch to Thornton. Thornton to the 10, and they bump him down at the 9. I thought that play was going to go for more when it first started, Hank.
Yeah, they had linebackers stacked up inside. The call was a good one in that they went away from the overload of the linebackers inside, try to get outside to the slot formation, which means that both outside receivers are on the right side of the football in that case, but they didn't succeed in making a lot of yardage on the play.
Cleveland's Cockcroft just kicked a 39-yard field goal. The Browns lead the Eagles 10-6 first period. And right now we have a 3rd and 7. Steelers on the Redskin 9. The game was tied 7-all early in the 2nd period. Jim Smith then is a 3rd wide receiver. They chase Bradshaw around. He throws it away. Stallworth was open at the goal line. If he'd have hit him, but I think he was just trying to unload. He didn't see anyone.
Yeah, he got pressure that time and just got rid of the football. Penalty against the Washington Redskins.
This will hurt the Redskins. They had that play stop. Moves the ball to the 4. If it's holding, it's an automatic 1st and goal.
Offside.
No, it's offside.
Number 47 defense. Still 3rd down.
That was on Ray Waddy, who was in there as a defensive back. Now it is 3rd down. And 1.5 yards to go. The pass incomplete to Stallworth on a rollout. 4th down and 1.5 yards to go. And here comes the field goal team on. Matt Barr, Craig Colquitt, the punter, will hold for him.
Sid Thornton that time circled into the end zone, was totally on Terry, rolled to his right, and didn't see him on the play.
This is a shorty. A 21-yard attempt by Matt Barr, who has kicked 6 out of 12 this season. That kick is up. It is good, and the Steelers have the lead back again. 21-yard field goal. 12:36 remaining in the half. It is Pittsburgh 10 and Washington 7.
The new pension laws were driving me crazy, so I called the Connecticut General people. And did they come through for me?
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
We had some dental bills. Then my company got a Connecticut General Group dental plan. CG sure came through for us.
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
Call us. We'll come through for you, too.
Take care of your car at Kmart. Our automotive service centers care.
Your Kmart Automotive Center is your sound shop, too. Save $30 on this AM/FM push-button radio with 8-track or cassette tape player. On sale for $118.88. Match it with a pair of great-sounding 5-inch or 6x9 3-way speakers. Just $39.88 a pair. At Kmart Automotive Centers across the U.S., where quality car products are Kmart priced.
Buddy Hardiman, who played quarterback in college at Iowa State. Now a kick returner and a running back in the pros. That Barr's boot, short. Running up on it. And the ball is caught there at the 20-yard line by Harmon. And Harmon gets it out over the 35 and goes down on the 36-yard line. Start your evening with a brand new edition of 60 Minutes, the CBS News Weekly magazine. Then the new cook starts dishing out the comedy at Archie Bunker's place. The last continue on One Day at a Time, followed by Ellis and the Jeffersons. All on CBS tonight. First down. Washington on their own 36. That's Riggins. But you notice number 53, Dennis Dirt Winston, got turned around. Riggins got by, and then Winston went over and helped push him out of bounds. So Riggins goes out on the 39-yard line of the Redskins. The play went for 3. It's 2nd down 7. We talk about the Steelers leading the league in losing the ball by fumbles the most. The Redskins have lost only 5 fumbles this year. They're tied with the Giants for low in the National Conference. 2nd down 7. Roll out. He's got some room. He throws. Complete. No, he had it and then dropped it. John McDaniel was there. Wayne Woodruff on him. McDaniel never really had control of the ball.
No, the ball, he went down and drove the cornerback back, got him turned, stopped in front, was in a great position to make the catch, but for some reason just dropped it. It looked like he might have taken his eye off the ball.
Clarence Harmon and Hardiman come in the backfield. Clarence Harmon, by the way, became the father of a baby girl this morning. These Redskins produce them. Brad Dusick's wife had twins during training camp. Mike Bragg's wife had twins about 2 weeks ago. Very productive, this club. 3rd down 7. Moss missed him on the break. Ricky Thompson started the break, and he was open, but the pass was just a little bit beyond his reach. So it is 4th down 7. And we'll have Mike Bragg into a punt formation. That's 83. Theo Bell back to receive the kick. There is no wind today. This is just an ideal day for football. Crisp November afternoon. Wobbly spiral. Bell caught it at the 22-yard line. Oh, the Steelers have the ball back again. Our score here with 12 minutes to go in the half is 10-7 Pittsburgh.
When you have questions like these about your money, get professional answers.
I just got a great new job and a new apartment, but I need so many things. How do I establish credit?
With the kids out of school, our savings are beginning to grow. But should we keep it all in a savings account?
What else can we do?
Keep your checking and savings at a full-service bank and get professional answers to your financial questions. America's full-service banks. We've got the answers.
From the beginning, Continental Mark has been one of the highest forms of automotive expression. Now there's a new mark, Continental Mark 6, with a remarkable 41% improvement in EPA estimated miles per gallon over last year. With a new automatic overdrive transmission, with even more room inside than last year. And now there's yet another new mark, the Mark 6 four-door. Continental Mark 6, still unmistakably Mark.
Live from Laurel, Maryland, see the 29th running of the Washington, D.C. International. Post time is 4 p.m. next Saturday. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Now you're looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers in their huddles. They're hard to beat here. Since they opened this stadium in 1970, they won 63 and lost only 13. Of course, that was the start of their dynasty here. Running out of the eye for the first time now, unless they shift. Ball on their own 21-yard line or 22-yard line. Bradshaw cranks it down the middle. There's Lynn Swan. Swan down on the 49-yard line. Another 27-yard gain. Swan caught one earlier for 41. Looks like he's on the way to a big day, Hank.
Yes, he is. And, of course, anytime he's healthy, he's always capable of having a big day. This time from the I formation, he goes back into the pocket. And Swan is lined up on the right side, comes all the way across the field on a crossing pattern. Terry throws the ball up there beautifully, makes the catch. A great-looking play and a great touch on the pass.
Yeah, he laid that in there, feathered it to him. He didn't just bang it in there to him. First down, Steelers on their 49.
Look at all the room on the left side here on Lavender.
But Bradshaw staying with that passing game.
There it is.
It is overthrown, intended for Stallworth, and he was up in it in the air by Joe Lavender, who is I think, the tallest cornerback in the NFL. Mean Joe Green over there. Said, boy, I wouldn't want to be a receiver. Just let me stay in those pits. That's a lot quieter.
Who said that?
Well, Joe's saying it. See, he doesn't want to go up in the air and have to catch a pass if somebody's going to hit him. Got it?
That's a matter of opinion. Compared to where he plays with all the traffic inside. That time, Lavender Riddy was licked on the play. Terry Bradshaw just threw the ball too high over the top to Stallworth.
Bradshaw has attempted 14 passes and hit 8. That's Thornton. And he's tripped up, crossed the 50, reached the 45 of the Redskins. Carl Lorch, the left end, took him down.
Franco Harris that time got a nice block on the outside man that time, which provided him with a little running room inside, but he did a good job of knocking him out of the play.
All right, they have a 3rd down and 4. L.C. Greenwood, left end of the Steelers on defense. We have 10:35 to go in the first half. 10-7, Pittsburgh leading Washington. And a 3rd and 4 for the Steelers. With a slot right formation.
They'll throw the ball here, I'm sure.
That's Swan in motion. And they blow the whistle. Too much time? Now we saw what the play was. Well designed to Thornton down the middle. That's the legal delay of the game against the Steelers. And that'll put the ball back to the 50-yard line and make it 3rd down and 9 for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw already has 164 yards in passing in this game.
Boy, he's got tremendous confidence and poise in his passing ability and the pass protection and the routes that the receivers run. But they're very efficient, one of the most efficient teams passing-wise in the league.
Slot left formation. 3rd down 9. Big rush on him. Throws on the run. It's complete. That's Jim Smith who caught the ball. He could play first string with most clubs. Jim Smith, ex-All-American, University of Michigan, and he's in his 3rd year here. And what are you going to do behind Stallworth and Swan?
Yeah, they put him in on the obvious passing situations. Terry looks to his left, rolls to his right, and then throws right down the middle to Smith, who makes a fine catch in traffic. Finally tackled there, but it's another big down for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You talked about Bradshaw. When he's right, when he wants to run, and he's not running much this year, and he's right throwing, he can dominate a game completely. The one quarterback who I think can do it. Paul Smith making the hit. He's in there tackle now along with Dave Butts. It'll be spotted down on the 27-yard line of the Redskins. Going out is Pete Wysocki. Monty Coleman comes in.
One of the reasons it's so tough to rush the Pittsburgh Steelers is the fact that they trap you so much, and you're a little dubious about the trap, and so that's why you slow down your rush a little bit. That last play, a 1st and 10 situation, was a trap with Jerry Mullins trapping the defensive right tackle, Dyron Talbot.
Paul Smith has gone out. Now they start the clock again. Took time for that injured player. Smith out. Lamar Parrish, by the way, we've just received word, has bruised ribs and has been taken into the Redskin dressing room. That won't help the Redskins. Big rush on Bradshaw. Then loads it to Thornton again at the 20, 15, 10, out of bounds. Sidney Thornton coming on as a future star, already a star, but another one in the making, is out of bounds, and is 1st and goal Pittsburgh.
Thornton, number 38, goes out at the linebacker, and he has the option of running outside or inside. He ran inside of the linebacker that time, got him turned, Monty Coleman, and was wide open in the middle, did a good job of running down the left sideline, and it's another big play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But a good option run by the fine fullback, or the halfback, I should say, Sidney Thornton, and an option on the linebacker.
1st and goal for the Steelers on the Redskins 7-yard line. Steelers ahead 10-7. Just under 9 minutes to play in the first half. Franco Harris at the 5, and he rolls in there. Where he's right out on the goal line, but a flag went down on the run. Franco Harris, who in the last 4 games, this is holding against Pittsburgh. It will set him back. They'll have to go back to the 17 of the Redskins and make it 1st and 17 for a Steeler touchdown. Franco Harris has really been rolling himself. In the last 4 games, he's gained 431 yards, and he's on his way to another 1,000-yard season. Since he started that 1,000-yard stuff back in '72, he's missed only 1.
You know, and as well as he's running, which is a good point that you just made, he shows a lot of quickness, doesn't he, at this stage of his career?
Well, what were they saying? That he was all washed up here. He's lost 2 steps or something.
I think they were talking about his uniform being all washed.
I could give you a shot of the right pants leg of Bradshaw. He's wearing patches on the pants leg. Here he is to pass.
Screen back over to this side.
At the 10. That's Benny Cunningham in for a touchdown. They love that play to Benny Cunningham, the big tight end, who is almost like a wild Brahma bull when you get the ball to him. He just rolls over people.
It is very important when you're a quarterback to have the kind of size that Bradshaw has. He rolls to his right. Look at the Coy Bacon chasing, but he stops, and he's tall enough to throw the ball over the top. You see good blocking downfield on the play by John Cobb, and he goes in for the touchdown. Misdirection, screen pass, roll right, screen back to the left to the tight end Cunningham.
It went for 17 yards, 8:36 to go in the half, and the boot by Barrs up. And again, the passing arm of Bradshaw has taken those Steelers right back down the field. And so it is 17-7. The Steelers out in front.
You survey where the land is wild and unforgiving. A land of hard, desolate beauty few men have seen, filling in the empty places on maps that until now have been almost unknown. But when the sun retreats from the sky, you set your sights for Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. When it's time to relax, we've got the beer. Miller Beer. Miller Beer.
Buddy Hardeman to receive the kickoff. Bradshaw, incidentally, has already over 200 yards of passing completed in this game. Hardeman at the 4. Out to the 15. They're chasing him, and they down him on the 16-yard line. And it was Rick Moser down to cover that kick. I've had a couple of 400-yard games, or maybe more than that. 2 of them by the same gentleman, Mr. Joe Namath. One in the famous Heidi game, when Maynard caught 13 in that game. And the other was when Namath threw for over 400 yards, and Johnny Unitas for 386 yards in the same game. But passing for 400 yards is a real hallmark for a quarterback in this National Football League, and Bradshaw may do it today. Who knows?
See if they do something to the right here.
First down. They're going to roll right. And it's over the head of Benny Malone, and it's in front of Bug. I don't know which man he was going to. I don't think Theismann knew either. Second down, 10. Theismann 6 out of 14. Ted Frisch goes in at center. Bob Cozile is over to the sideline.
One thing that's very tough to do against Pittsburgh is to move the ball when you have to play catch-up football.
Clarence Harmon has replaced John Riggins. That's Benny Malone. And down he goes on the 18, 19-yard line. Kurt Winston, L.C. Greenwood, and Jack Ham. It'll be third down. 7 to go for the Redskins. Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Mazzetti just kicked the 20-yard field goal after Ricky Bell had plunged 1 yard for scores. Tampa Bay 7, Atlanta 3. 5 to go in the first period. And a 3rd and 7 here for the Redskins, with the Steelers leading 17-7. 5 defensive backs in for Pittsburgh. He hit by J.T. Thomas, Buddy Hardiman. Thomas is normally a cornerback, but Johnson's hurt today. They're out. Dwayne Woodruff, a rookie, starting at cornerback. Wagner's out, but Thomas has moved to a safety, and that's the hardest hit of the day, and Hardiman is down. Here's J.T. Thomas, the man that hit him.
Watch, Hardiman swings out of the backfield, and J.T. Thomas really gives him a shot high.
Ooh.
Keeps him from falling forward. That would have been the first down possibly, but he knocked him back into the turf. Great tackle there by J.T. Thomas, number 24.
Mike Bragg will punt again. 4th down and a foot to go. Theo Bell is the safety man, and they're attending to Buddy Hardiman. A real find this year for the Redskins. Came into camp as a free agent. Won a job right away, looked good in preseason, been valuable in running kickoffs, punts back, coming out of the backfield, catching the ball, running it now and then. Good all-around player.
Yes, he is. He certainly is. Seemingly he's all right, which is always good to see.
Crowd gives him a hand. Another sellout here, Three River Stadium. Mike Bragg is punting for the 4th time. He's averaged 37 yards a kick in the game. Wind him up, says the referee, and here we go.
The Redskins really lead the league. They do a great job with their specialty teams, covering punts and kickoffs.
You're right, Henry. Fair catch call on the 42-yard line. The Redskins, in covering kickoffs and punts, have allowed the least yardage of any club in the NFL. We'll be back in the second period. It's 17-7 Pittsburgh.
Introducing the 1980 Mercury Marquis.
Feel the Marquis ride.
The Mercury Marquis is not only spacious and comfortable, it has 70% better gas mileage ratings than 1975.
Feel the Marquis ride.
The 1980 Mercury Marquis. Come feel how well it's designed.
Feel the Marquis ride.
If a man's favorite threads prematurely lose their threads, and the seams in his slacks seem to disappear, then he needs clothes from Levi's Sportswear. Levi's slacks, blazers, and suits hold their great looks because they're sewn to the tough standards that made the Levi's name famous for durability. Men's clothes from Levi's Sportswear, where quality never goes out of style.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see the heavyweights in action in the World Powerlifting Championships, plus Part 2 of the Battle of the NFL Cheerleaders and the conclusion of the World Series of Poker. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Yeah, the Steelers are first in offense in their conference, and they're second in the entire league in scoring. New England is first in scoring, and Pittsburgh is second. And the Steelers have 219 yards passing from Bradshaw already.
They've thrown the last 3 times on 1st and 10. Let's see what they do here on 1st and 10.
They're on their own 42. They run it this time. That's Franco Harris. And he bangs his way to the 50-yard line and edged over into the Redskin territory, where he was tackled by Wysocki and Mark Murphy. Pittsburgh on the 50-yard line. Second down and a short 2. Time remaining, 6:40 in the first half. Franco Harris 34 yards on 5 carries. He's averaged 4.8 a carry this year. Look out, look out. Maybe an offside. I think it's 79. Coy Bacon offside. Charge, try to get back. That looked like Bacon, unless he was drawn off.
No, I think it was definitely your first observation was a good one, Kurt. I think definitely it was against the Washington Redskins.
Offside, the veteran Coy Bacon in his 12th year, Jackson State. Asked him in the lobby today, I mean, how come you keep going every year and you're up? And he said, hey, every year there's 4 or 5 young kids coming to camp trying to take the money away from me.
They got their hand in his pocket.
Yes, sir. He says, old Coy wants that salary.
He ought to throw here on a 1st and 10 situation. Let's see if he does.
All right, Hank. First down, Pittsburgh on the Redskins 45. And he is going to throw. They set it up, and it's a bad pass intended for Stallworth, or for Swan. But he had a hard rush on him that time. Terry Brooks, the left tackle, an excellent pass rusher, was in there from Southern University. You know, the Redskins are starting to play some youngsters now. They're very high on a rookie, Monty Coleman. Sam Huff told me today thinks he's going to be a great linebacker. Brooks is in his 2nd year. And next year, the Redskins, in the upset of all upsets in pro football history, have 6 draft picks in the first 5 rounds, including their own number 1.
I hear they're trying to trade him, are they, Jack? Or Kurt?
No way. No way. 2nd down, 10. Down the middle. Complete to Benny Cunningham. At the 31-yard line, he was down.
Boy, how he gets the ball over the top of those linebackers like he does, just incredible. But he just did it again to Cunningham. Had pressure coming inside. Watch him, goes back into the pocket. Throws it right over the top.
What a battery of receivers. It doesn't matter. Stallworth, Swan, Smith, Grossman, Cunningham. Goes to them all. Rocky Blyers in support now. First down. Steelers on the Redskin 31. Swan in motion. About a 3-yard pickup. Wysocki tackled Franco Harris there. Remember, Cunningham last year was injured. Got off to a great start. He was the number 1 draft pick. This is his 4th year. And this year he stormed away from the starting gate in starry style and was hurt again. Now he's back playing today. He's caught 2 passes and caught a screen for a touchdown. 2nd down, 6. Thornton back in. 2nd and 6 for Pittsburgh. 27-yard line of the Redskins. Bradshaw, quickie, pops away. That's a legitimate hit by Mark Murphy. He was just trying to go for the ball along with number 38, Sidney Thornton.
Sidney was running the same option pass that he ran just a little while ago for a big gain. He has the option again, as I mentioned earlier, to run inside or outside of the linebacker. That time he ran inside again, but the ball was deflected and almost intercepted on the play.
Cunningham is out, and Jim Smith goes in to become a 3rd wide receiver. Well, the aerial circus is spread out across the field now for the Steelers. Bradshaw looks him over. There it is. It is nearly intercepted and not quite by Tony Peters. The pass intended for Swan. Peters has had the last month a vast improvement, and he's going to be in their first team soon and may stay in there for a few years. They got him over from the ground, and they're very high on him. Another one of these younger players. All right, here is a 45-yard field goal by Matt Barr. He has kicked 4 out of 8 between 40 and 49. So he's 50% from this range. This kick is up. It has a distance, but it looks wide to the left. He missed it. And Washington will take over on 28-yard line with a first down. Remember swine flu and the shots President Ford urged all of us to take? You probably thought they were safe. So did a lot of other people who today are either dead or crippled. Watch 60 Minutes tonight right after NFL football, except on the West Coast where it'll be run at its regular time. 60 Minutes following NFL football today. Redskins on their 28 with a first down. They're trailing 17-7. Ron Riggins. After Riggins was slowed down behind the line, number 58 Lambert came in to put the finish on him. Jack Lambert.
That was another counter play. It looked like they were going to run to the left. He took a step to the left, ran to the right. Jack Ham got penetration, forced him inside, and Lambert and the rest of the troops inside made the tackle.
A little over 4 minutes to play. There's the rushing average we were talking about earlier. Score here, 17-7 Pittsburgh. Brazil is the center again. Redskins are not running on the Steeler club. Very few teams do. Riggins outside, cutting back. Look at that pursuit, the gang tackle. I thought he was going somewhere that time, Hank.
Yeah, but it was a draw play, a very delayed draw play. He looked like he was going to have some running room. There was a cavity on the left side, but by the time he took it, tried to take advantage of it, it was all closed up.
Bradshaw and Jim Smith talked. Their next offensive series over when they get together. Ike Forte in for Buddy Hardiman. Hardiman evidently was shaken up. 3rd down, 7. Forte will be number 30. That's Thompson out in motion. Draw play to Forte. Goodbye. Joe Green has him. Fumble. Joe Green, Lambert came up with the ball, but they'd already blown the play dead. Lambert, oh, come on. Fourth down, and again the Steelers steel curtain slams it over. Mike Bragg will kick the field bell. Bragg is making his 5th punt. Last week, Colquitt kicked 9 times in the game against the Cowboys. This is a good kick. Taken on a 34 and downed immediately on the 38-yard line. Don Harris went down to make the tackle. NFL on CBS regional game. The Cardinals and the Redskins next week. Tampa Bay, Detroit. That's where Hank and I will be. The Silverdome in Pontiac. Los Angeles and Chicago. Minnesota, Green Bay. San Francisco, New Orleans. And Atlanta and the New York Giants. Consult for the local listings in your area. Our score here is 17-7. Pittsburgh leading Washington in a conference game. First down on the 38-yard line of Pittsburgh. Bradshaw's handoff. That's Sidney Thornton. Thornton and Harris coming into this game had combined for 1,131 yards. That's the best rushing tandem of any club in the league. Thornton has over 500 yards, Harris over 600. And Thornton now is limping off. They've got another young running back here they're very high on, who's injured. It's Greg Hawthorne. He may come in here, but he's not exactly right. Well, they like him. Bradshaw said he's very quick, and I can get him outside. Here's the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Toward the end of the half. 17-7, the Steelers on top.
He was a man who never danced, never sang, never performed for an audience. Yet since 1891, his talent has thrilled millions.
A little bit more to the left.
All right, sir.
His name was William Tuttle. His gift, architecture, and his masterpiece, Carnegie Hall. Perhaps the only music hall in the world where every person in the audience can hear every note, no matter how softly it's played.
Mr. Tuttle, we're about finished, sir.
Mr. O'Reilly, here,
You don't have to shout.
The same commitment to perfect sound that went into building Carnegie Hall goes into every high-fidelity component Pioneer makes. That's what's made Pioneer #1 today with people who care about music. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
2 minutes to play in the first half. Kurt Gowdy and Hank Stram with you from Three River Stadium. There's your score. For late tuners in, the Steelers scored first. Bradshaw passing 11 yards to Stallworth, 7-0 first period. Riggins ran for a touchdown of 4 yards to tie it up. 21-yard field goal by Barr, and a 17-yard Bradshaw to Cunningham pass. And that's been it. This is a 2nd down and 6. They have a draw play, and it maybe had a yard, and that's all. Franco Harris brought down by Coy Bacon. For the ball on the Steeler 42-yard line. They'll have a 3rd down and still 6 to go.
They take Benny Cunningham out of the game, the tight end, bring in Jim Smith. So you'll have 3 wide receivers. And at the same time, a slot to the right with 2 receivers on the right side and 1 on the left. Smith over here on the left side.
Lavender is covering Smith. Bradshaw. Look at that opening there. That's Stallworth. Stallworth, 1st down. It'll be on the Redskin 48-yard line. Bradshaw told me, Hank, he says, I always thought that Stallworth was as good as Swan, but he's just more subdued. They're both great.
Yes, they really are. And they both have such great hands and the great capacity to spot the open areas and get open, which is so important.
You know, Bradshaw right now is up to 242 yards passing in the first half. 242.
They came off the bus throwing the ball here this afternoon, and he continues to throw it.
They call it time to stop the clock. He has attempted 21 passes. He's completed 13. We told you the Steelers are tough to beat here. There goes Thornton into the locker room. While the Steelers are tough at home, losing only 4 games here in the last 5 years, the Redskins are no slouches on the road. Redskins have won 4 out of their 5 road games this year.
Yeah, you know, and the other thing that's so tough when you play Pittsburgh, I mentioned it earlier, they trap you so much that going into the game, you're so concerned about being trapped that you don't rush the passer as well. And if you don't rush the passer, you're really in trouble. And the only way you're going to do that then is to shoot linebackers. Then you have one-on-one coverage, and then you're really in trouble.
That last catch by Stallworth was his 46th of the season, and that's an all-time season high for him. 1st down, Steelers in the Redskin 48. Bradshaw again, and it is incomplete. That was number 47, Ray Waddy, who's playing in place of the injured Lamar Parrish. Nearly had it, but not quite. We've had no turnovers in this game, and we've had no sacks. 1:04 to go in the half. 2nd down, 10 Steelers on the Redskin 48. Steelers all thought they were in for a difficult afternoon because of the Redskins' solid type of team and outstanding defense. They didn't come in here expecting any breather, even though the AFC knocked the NFC over 6 out of 6 last week.
And Perry Brooks that time, 69, really got good pressure on Terry Bradshaw and made him throw an errant pass.
Bradshaw again. Here it is, deep to Smith. That's an interception by Lavender. Lavender has the ball, and the Redskins take over. Smith was double-teamed. That's the 4th interception for Lavender. Parrish leads the Redskins with 7.
Smith didn't do a very good job of trying to come back and knock the ball loose from Lavender. He should have fought for the ball to knock it loose, but he didn't, and finally he wound up making the tackle, but the damage was already done. It was an intercepted pass.
This is hard for me to believe, but it probably is true. Somebody just handed me a note that Terry Bradshaw has had only 1 career 300-yard passing game. I remember that when I did it. It was in the Super Bowl last year in Miami, but he's already had 240-some yards in this one. And this is still the first half. Now the Redskins deep in their own territory. He'll throw the ball. They get it out to Ike Forte, who fumbles it. Up with it at the Steelers. I was about to say the Redskins are not going to play it safe, and they didn't. They completed the pass, and then Forte fumbled. Mel Blount picked it up. Watch this.
He hit Anderson in the left foot. Boy,
There's Mel Blount, who recovered. And now the Steelers, who lost the ball with an interception, have a chance to score. 44 seconds to go, and we've just had our first turnover of the game.
Boy, isn't that something?
When they last had the ball, the Steelers, they were on the Redskin 48. Now they're on the Redskin 5. And a timeout called by the Redskins. They have 2 left. The Steelers have 2 left. Bradshaw and Knoll talk it over. You know, the Steelers are the only National Football League team to start in 1979 with all their own players. That is, none acquired via trades or free agents that played for somebody else. Dallas began the season with 2 outside free agents. Washington began the season with only 13 of the 45-man roster who were originally Redskin draft picks or free agents. So each team has gone a different route. The Steelers believe in home cooking. Redskins have patchworked their lineup, but I think you'll see that change, Hank, now. They have the draft picks coming up.
Yes, I'm sure they will. And we talked to Bobby Beathard right before the game, and he was very enthusiastic about what might happen in the 1980 draft.
Grossman's in there at tight end. They have a double tight end set up. First down, goal to go Steelers. In motion is Blyer. Bradshaw
wide open.
Robs it. It's a touchdown to Grossman. 3rd touchdown pass of the game for Terry Bradshaw.
Nice looking play. They roll to the right. Grossman, the tight end on the right side, looked like he blocked down momentarily. Went all the way over to the left side on a crossing pattern and was wide open on the play.
Randy Grossman says his greatest thrill as a Steeler was seeing his picture on a bubblegum card. He rides a bicycle, by the way, to and from practice. Well, the Redskins handed the Steelers that late opportunity, and they took advantage of it. Matt Barr will boot it. It's up. It's good. And what a day Terry Bradshaw is having. 3 touchdown passes in the first half. 246 yards in passing in the first half. What did Major Bowes used to say? And round she goes. And where it stops, nobody knows.
You know, it's hard to get that many yards in a pregame warm-up in passing.
That's right. There's your score, 24-7 Pittsburgh. Stay tuned for the NFL Today here at halftime. Barr will kick it off. Bradshaw. What a great half he's had. I don't think anybody's still giving him enough credit for last year and guiding that club to 17 out of 19 wins. Buddy Hardiman, left side, a jaw. Injured when he was hit high on that kickoff return, or that pass receiving return. Ike Forte is deep. He's the fellow that coughed the ball up after a pass completion. Kick by Barr. Forte takes it on the 1. 20. And out to the 25. Tackled by Tom Graves, first-year player from Michigan State. There's a distinction between a rookie and a first-year player. Rookie, look at that. What a drive that was, 4 yards. A rookie's never been around before. A first-year player could have come up and then been put on injured reserve or had to sit out the season because of an injury, hung around the club, didn't have a chance to play. We have 32 seconds to go in the first half. Theismann throws it to Riggins. Riggins comes out of the backfield. Boy, he's strong, isn't he? He kept going, picked up another 10 yards after the completion.
He's not only strong, but he's got good speed, too. A lot of people don't realize that he runs a 40 and 4.6.
He and the Jet front office got all crossed up over money. So they traded him away, and it's been a good reception of the trade by the Redskins. Redskins had the ball at first down on their 48-yard line. 24 seconds remaining. Joe Theismann. Many think of him as a kid. He's nearly 30 years old. 3 years in Canada. He was drafted originally by Miami, and he very wisely said, hey, Bob Greasy's there. Am I going to get to play? No. Bob Greasy is still the #1 quarterback there.
You know, we tried to get him when I was at Kansas City, too. We tried to get him when he came back from the Canadian League, but we didn't succeed in doing it, of course, and he wound up in Washington.
He went up to Canada for 3 years and sat behind Jurgensen and Tillman. Now he's a regular. He shoots it to Danny Buggs, the 35. Buggs is down there, and the Redskins may come in and call timeout. The whistle blows with the ball dead in the first down, and it is the last timeout that the Redskins have left to them here in the first half. The score would help them. They just gave up a score that will be hard to take when they go into that locker room. 17-7. They had intercepted a long Bradshaw pass. They had taken over in their 6th. They completed a short pass and then a fumble and gave the Redskins the ball right back again.
Yeah, with the game going like it is, it's very important for a team to get some kind of points before the half. It kind of gets you pumped up a little bit and gives you a lot of encouragement and more enthusiasm about what you might be able to do in the second half.
Prior to the 1970 merger, the Redskins and the Steelers met 70 times. But since the merger, they've met only once. That was in a Monday night game in 1973, and the Steelers won it 21-16. First game they ever played against each other was back in 1933. The early days.
Hey, Dwayne! Watch the flag!
Bob Daly directed that game, 1933. First down. Redskins ball. Heisman will run it out of bounds and stops the clock at the 30-yard line. Now there are 10 seconds remaining in the half. He can move out of there behind that center, Hank.
What's that?
Said he can really move out of there behind that center.
Yes, he can. Especially with somebody chasing him.
You always thought that was important, didn't you? A quarterback that could move.
Yes, we always thought it was, vital if you're going to move the ball consistently and go all the way, because a quarterback who moves by design creates a lot of problems for the defense.
Well, they have 10 seconds to go, and it looked like they're going to try a field goal. Theismann will spot it. 47-yard attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. One of the few Mosley has missed this year. Mosley had booted 15 out of 19 and had hit 5 out of 7 between 40 and 49, but he missed that one.
I'm surprised they didn't try another pass. They had 10 seconds to try another pass and hopefully get a little closer, take a shot, and then if you make the completion, then of course you don't have to kick the ball so far. But it was surprising that they tried to kick it without trying one more time to get closer.
Steelers ball, their own 30. 4 seconds to go. I doubt if they'll play it safe, Hank. See if Bradshaw may try and unload one. He is. And they get him. Number 79, Bacon, the fumble. Still loose.
Doesn't make any difference. It's the end of the half.
The half is over. A few more seconds and they might have wished they'd have played it safe. There's the end of the first half in Three River Stadium on a gorgeous November day here in Pittsburgh, with a score: the Pittsburgh Steelers 24 and the Redskins 7.
For the 1980s Lincoln Mercury
Mercury unleashes a striking new cat. New Cougar XR7 with 64% better estimated MPG than 1975. And a new automatic overdrive transmission is available. So very luxurious with plush new fabrics. Cougar! This is your year for the cat.
Here's to good friends.
A toast. Here's to a vanishing breed. Bill Evans, bachelor.
End of a perfectly good ladies' man.
To Bill Evans, a free man. 13 more hours.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brow.
Come on, you guys. You're beautiful.
Here they come, pouring in from California and Vermont, from Texas, Oklahoma, and Georgia, from all over the country. Billions of used aluminum cans headed for recycling. Today, about 1 out of 4 aluminum cans is recycled and used again. Tomorrow, maybe 1 out of 3. Someday, maybe every one of them.
We can't wait. We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, the heavyweights are in action when the CBS Sports Spectacular presents highlights of the World Powerlifting Championships. Plus, the second installment of the Battle of the NFL Cheerleaders, with 16 teams representing the NFC and AFC competing for the title. Then come with us to Las Vegas for highlights of the World Series of Poker. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger, and the rookie wonder is doing it again. Phil Simms has the Giants ahead of the Dallas Cowboys on this touchdown pass that we're going to show you. Perkins, the intended receiver. Simms had already thrown 1 interception. At the Cowboy 32-yard line, Perkins makes a fine catch and then gets into the end zone. It was 7-0. Cowboys with 4th down decided to gamble. Staubach went for the pass. Watch Carson, the middle linebacker, to the deep zone, deflected away. 7-3, third period. Could be the biggest upset of the day. And Tampa Bay heading for the playoffs under John McKay, leads Atlanta 7-3. Ricky Bell 1 yard out. Pittsburgh dominating Washington, the game that you are watching. And in a good one, it is now Philadelphia 13, Cleveland 10. Yes, Carmichael did it, 106 straight games. Sipe, 21 yards to Reggie Rucker, 19th touchdown pass of the season for Sipe. Montgomery, 62-yard touchdown run. And New England has just tied Buffalo, 6-6. They are in the second period in that game. St. Louis has a field goal from Little, 42 yards away, 3-0. Burt Jones does it, 20 yards to McCall. What a different team that is with Jones at quarterback. They lead Cincinnati. And it was Fouts to Lord Jeff, 13 yards and a field goal, and it was 10-0. Good old Lord Jeff. They can't stop him now, Jane.
Yeah, you got him a nickname now. He said, when the Dallas Cowboys arrived in New York late yesterday, CBS had a cassette of Too Tall Jones's bout ready for them to view. Irv Cross asked Cowboy General Manager Tex Schramm his reaction to Jones's debut.
Well, it wasn't one of the great fights of the century, I don't imagine, but I think a lot of people today are overlooking the fact that it was his first fight, just like a first fight of an amateur. And I think that the fact that he got through the 6th round, there was a little kind of a stumble, I think, and an illegal hit at the end, but the fact that the judges felt that he won the fight, it's one step further for him on his new career.
Tex, if Too Tall decided to come back to football, will the Dallas Cowboys take him back?
We would love nothing better than to have. Too Tall come back to us. He left under the finest of circumstances. Before the draft, he came in and told us confidentially that he would not be back, so that if that would make any difference, we could change our plans. He's been very complimentary to our football team, and if the boxing does not ever work out for him, he'll be very welcome with the Cowboys.
They could use him this afternoon. Let's go live to the Meadowlands. The rookie Phil Simms has the Giants on the move again. From the sideline, they watch the handoff as they power right straight ahead, and the Giants have been dominating the Cowboys at the line of scrimmage. As Tom Landry indicated during the week, it was going to be extremely difficult to get back up after losing that emotional game to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and of course they had to stay on the road.
No doubt about it. You know, I was surprised to hear Landry say that, though, Brent. You know, but when you talk about what Sims gives to the New York Giants, you know, some of the players in the locker room the other day when I was over there said that, you know, we thought our ace was out when the Rams knocked them out of the ball game last week. Went over to the sidelines, took some smelling salts, came back and threw a touchdown pass for us. This guy is tough.
Here's 2nd and 8 now for Sims. And the rookie from Morehead State content now to hand it off to Taylor. And they're powering right straight ahead. They have left him with a passing situation here. They're down at about the Dallas 25-yard line. So the next play, we will watch Sims go up to the air. Right straight ahead. This was the series that ignited the Giants 4 weeks ago against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They simply ran it down the Buccaneers' throats. Sims with the play in from the sideline. Perkins has sent it in. Brad Van Pelt, number 10, watching for the sideline. The Giants had a great goal line stand. I showed you the last play. Now it is 3rd and 5. And Sims checks that Cowboy defense. Can the young man do it again? Under pressure, throws it in the air, and it's incomplete. So Perkins was covered, Sims was hurried, and they had to throw it out of bounds. So now they'll bring on Danilo, and they will attempt a field goal. You can watch. And the Cowboys, of course, went to the blitz. You could see Harris, number 43, storm in from the side. So the Cowboys again demonstrating they do not have as good a rush as they had before. It is 7-3. The Giants leading Dallas. We'll stay right here with this field goal, and then we will go for a station break and come back and show you the top-rated college quarterbacks according to the pro scouts. That's coming up. Danilo needs a strong leg. It looks accurate. Off to the side. Off to the side. No good, so it'll stay at 7-3, and the NFL Today will continue on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
Teddy Kennedy. Will his past affect his future? A look at the public figure and the private man as CBS reports Teddy, Sunday at 10, 9 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
If you want to borrow money, you know and Union National Bank knows that it isn't one of life's great pleasures. And no musical background makes borrowing money a joyous adventure. But if you need a loan, a personal loan, mortgage loan, or business loan, Union National is a good place to go. Not because it's fun or easy, but because it's Union National's business to lend money when it's needed. We want to be the bank you come to when you need a bank.
Loose falling shoes feel like wings for your feet, and with wings on your feet you can fly.
I'm Terry Bradshaw, and I hate to run, but not running is worse. So if I've got to run, it's going to be in the most comfortable shoes I can find. Spalding. They do for my feet what the Pittsburgh receivers have done for my arm.
Feet that feel good.
I think we got company, Wilbur.
Yeah.
All that way for a Strokes.
Don't surprise me none.
Kate Jackson joins Mike Douglas Monday at 4:30.
According to the pro scouts, the top quarterback in college football who is a senior is a young man by the name of Mark Wilson out of unbeaten Brigham Young University. No question they drool about this young man's size. He stands 6'5". That's not an arm. That's a between the two sports. Now, speaking of young quarterbacks with strong arms, let me show you Doug Williams from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As you know, the Buccaneers apparently are going to go to the playoffs. They are dominating the NFC Central. And watch this shotgun. Deep drop. There it goes. Cameraman can't even find it. He threw it out of his range. Ricky Bell then bounced in for the Bucs touchdown. Williams' favorite target on the Bucs is Isaac Higgins. This time, Higgins coughs it up. Pridemore picks up the fumble, but Atlanta had to settle for a field goal by Mazzetti as their offense bogged down against that talented defense, and so it is still 7-3. Let's send you back now to Kurt Gowdy and Hank Stram.
And there's the halftime score, and it's been a passing show by Terry Bradshaw that we'll be talking about later. The score again, the Pittsburgh Steelers 24 and the Washington Redskins 7.
I'd like to talk to you about the Sony Betamax and an incredible feature called Beta Scan. I'm Tom Williams Sr., and if you know tennis, you know my son. Here's a cassette of his last championship match. Beta Scan lets me go fast forward and reverse, so I can skip the boring stuff like this long rally and stop when I come to the real exciting parts, like Tom Jr. here dashing onto the court to pick up the ball. Isn't Betamax terrific? It lets you see what you've been missing and miss what you don't want to see. It's from Sony, the one and only.
I never worry about what brand name part my mechanic puts on my car. That doesn't make me a bad guy. I go to a professional mechanic I can trust, so I trust the parts he uses. He uses Mopar. It means nothing to me, but it means a lot to him. Mopar fits all American-made cars, foreign cars too, and they're used by professional mechanics all over the world. If the professional trusts Mopar, I trust Mopar. Does he make me happy? He makes it his business.
Trust your car to Mopar.
Hi, I'm John Riggins of the Washington Redskins, and this is my mother, Mildred, a very brave and determined woman. We're here at the YWCA, where the United Way supports a program to help rehabilitate women who have had mastectomies. Mom, why don't you tell them your story?
Let's go in, John, and I'll tell you about it. You know, John, when I had my mastectomy, they didn't have a program like this, so I volunteered my services to help other women. There are specially designed exercises and discussion groups.
Volunteers help provide the physical and emotional support these women need to feel whole again. It's so important to have someone who cares. A lot of volunteers, just like my mom, make this program work. Thanks to them, the United Way works here in Washington, and it works in your town, too. Thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way. Right, Mom?
Right, John.
Preceding announcement furnished to the public service by the National Football League. 24-7 Steelers ahead, but the story of this game is the passing of Terry Bradshaw, who's on his way, Hank, to his all-time personal high in the Steeler uniform.
Yes, he's completed 14 of 25 for a very impressive 246 yards. He came off the bus throwing the football, Kurt, as you know, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more passing in the second half.
3 touchdown passes for him. And we're spreading out now for the kickoff second half. Let's go down the field.
Slick Crozier back to receive for Pittsburgh.
Here we are, lads.
The Redskins are going to kick it off. .318 yards in a game is the high for Bradshaw in his career, and that was in last January's Super Bowl. This is Larry Anderson, who's deep. 24-7 as we begin the second half. Pittsburgh in the lead. Throwing with surprising ease today. That is, he just stayed in bounds. He was looking at the sideline. It'll be a touchback. First down, Pittsburgh. Bradshaw's high in a regular season game in his 10-year career has been 291 yards. 246 in the first half.
You know, he hasn't had to throw that much in the past and hasn't had any 300-yard games because they've always run the ball so well, Kurt, but they're throwing the ball extremely well here this afternoon.
Yeah, there's a story behind that. Blyer and Franco Harris in the back. Thornton, I believe, injured his ankle. That's Rocky Blyer. He's to the 20. Pulled down and out of bounds on the 24-yard line. And Brad Dusick, number 59, drove him out. The Steelers were a ball control running team. Then 77, 78, they switched over to a passing team more. This year, they're back to a ball control running team up until today. Today, they've been the aerial circus out here.
But they've got a lot of confidence in their passing game. And, of course, as you mentioned, they used to take the bus to where they wanted to go. Now they're taking the jet.
Second down, 6. Well, the Redskins are a solid defensive team, and they're not easy to run against. Well, that's why Bradshaw's throwing so much. Bert Jones at Baltimore ahead. Here's Blyer. Blyer has the first down. He's a small-looking back, although he weighs 210, a very compact 210. He's not very tall, 5'11". Big player here in this team, leading the blocking for Harris, running the ball. He and Harris one year combined for 1,000 yards apiece. And Rocky's averaged 6 yards a carry this year. But gradually, they moved Thornton in ahead of him and used Blyer sparingly now. First down, Pittsburgh on their 33.
He only ran for 52 yards in the first half. I'm sure they're going to try to work on their running game some in the second half.
That's what they are doing, working on the running game. As Blyer, he stopped at the 35-yard line. 2-yard gain. Dave Butts stopping him there. Second down, 8. This is Kurt Gowdy, Hank Strand. We've just opened the third quarter here in Pittsburgh. 24-7, the Steelers in the lead. And we are in the first minute of play of the second half.
This would be a good time for a draw or some kind of a trap, Kurt, because they're going to be coming.
And they are going after him. Pass is incomplete. It was being covered. It was intended for Cunningham. It was covered by Mark Murphy, third-year player out of Colgate, safety man. 3rd and 8.
Boy, that was another bad-looking pattern. The tight end and the flanker were very close together. They could have shaken hands on the play.
Yeah, they were right there together. Going out is Carl Lorch. Joe Jones comes in to rush. Better pass rusher. 3rd and 8 for the Steelers. He's got it. What a catch. Stallworth still going. Stallworth will score. Stallworth in. And that play goes 65 yards.
Boy, what a fantastic catch. But in conjunction with that, with great presence, watch, he goes back into the pocket, delivers a strike to Stallworth right between two defensive backs. The ball was deflected. He caught it, maintained concentration, took off right down the middle for the goal post, and he goes into the end zone and changes the scoreboard. A beautiful play.
Bradshaw now has broken a couple of his own records. The first time he's ever thrown 4 touchdown passes in a game in his 10-year career. How many yards does he have now? We'll count that up for you. Kick coming up by Matt Barr. It's good. And the Steelers are pouring it on now. 311 yards for Bradshaw. The score, Pittsburgh 31 and Washington 7.
American business is being taken over by revolutionaries. Revolutionary Savin copiers. Savin's advancing in New York, surrounding Dallas. Savin's winning over banks and brokerage houses. Why is big business going for Savin in a big way? Because Savins are fast, economical, and remarkably reliable. In fact, last year, Savin outplaced Xerox and IBM combined. So if you haven't noticed the revolution, you will. Savin, the revolutionary copiers that are winning over big business.
Super automotive values from Sears. Now get the full power of the Sears 48 battery for a full $7 off its regular low price. Now on sale, the Sears 48, $47.99 with trade-in. You save $7. And now America can save money on the best-selling steel-belted radial tire in Sears history. Get them now and save yourself $28 to $60 on a set of 4. At Sears, where America shops for value.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see the heavyweights in action in the World Powerlifting Championships, plus Part 2 of the Battle of the NFL Cheerleaders and the conclusion of the World Series of Poker. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Ike Forte will receive the kickoff. The Redskins have been damaged in the air today. Here's Forte on the 7, 15 to the 20. 25, 30, still going over the 35, and is rolled out of bounds just inside of his own 40 by Tom Graves. And they're in the third quarter. The Giants hanging on, leading Dallas 7-6. Sepiano had just booted a field goal with 31 seconds to go, and now Dallas leads 9-7. There's that last play. Stallworth, by the way, has 126 yards receiving in this game, 6 catches. That ties a career high for him.
He went in the game with 41 catches. Now he's got 47, of course.
He leads the NFL in the most yardage, and he hasn't hurt himself with that performance today. Riggins piled up at the 39-yard line. The Redskins have done nothing running the ball against this very strong steel curtain defense.
You know, they've thrown very few passes on first down too, Kurt. You know, I'm surprised that they haven't tried to throw some play action on earlier downs.
That's Kruzik, the backup quarterback. Look at Noel, that little smile on his. What do you say, son? You want to get in there and get some action? I like to see Bradshaw go for 400 yards. But these coaches don't care about that. I want to talk to Hank about that. Second down, 8. Theismann's toss, incomplete, out of bounds to McDaniel. What about it? Do you ever take a player's records into account if you're way ahead in the game?
No, not really and truly. The only thing that really is important is you win the football game, and during the process, if you can establish some records, that's fine. But I don't think you try to intentionally establish records by helping the individual stats of one player.
Anderson just passed 67 yards to Isaac Curtis. It's a famous battery out there. Ryan Land, 14-7 Baltimore. Larry Anderson becomes the 5th secondary back. Theismann will try and hit this first down. That pass is intercepted by Mel Blunt. Blunt has it, and it's Pittsburgh's ball. That's the second turnover against Washington.
There you see him back in the pocket, forces the ball, tries to throw it over the top of Mel Blunt.
Well, we have a timeout on the field. As Mr. Blunt is congratulated, Pittsburgh ahead, 31-7.
If you think the thrill's gone out of driving, ease yourself into this. The 1980 Mercury Capri RS.
Come on, ease on down the road.
Ease on down with a sexy European look and great base engine mileage ratings. 6 or 8 cylinder engines are also available, even an optional turbocharged engine. The Capri RS from Lincoln Mercury. A touch of Europe and a lot of American car.
Ease on down the road.
To the sign of the cat.
Remember this when you choose an airline. American was first with computerized reservations to answer your calls faster.
We were first with curbside baggage processing to handle your luggage faster. And we were first with one-stop check-in to get you through the airport faster. We're American Airlines, and finding ways to serve you better is one of the things we do best.
We're American Airlines, doing what we do best.
Pittsburgh's ball on their own 49-yard line. Mike Kruzik is in that quarterback. You're right, Hank. Dolan doesn't care about Bradshaw getting 400 yards passing or breaking records.
Well, the worst thing could happen would be if you got him hurt in this kind of a game. It would be tragic.
That's right. With a handoff to Rocky Blyer by Mike Kruzik. Speaking of injuries, Bradshaw was injured 3 or 4 years ago, and they brought a rookie in. There's Bradshaw, Kruzik. And Kruzik guided them to 6 wins in a row as quarterback. They had a 9-game winning streak. They went out to play Oakland for the championship, and Blyer and Franco Harris did not play in the championship game because of injury. Oakland went on to the Super Bowl and beat the Vikings. Second down, 4. Steelers on the Redskin 45. Franco Harris ganged up before he could reach the 45 of Washington by Dyron Talbert.
They tried to run a trap. They tried to run a trap that time, but Paul Smith, number 78, did a good job of getting penetration and stopped that last play. And of course, when we talk about a trap, we're referring to a play whereby you permit the defensive lineman to come across the line of scrimmage like he isn't going to be blocked, and then somebody traps him or blocks him from the inside out.
Mike Kruzik, Boston College, his 4th year. He has 3 wide receivers on the field for him. Completes the pass to Blyer coming out of the backfield to the 35-yard line for a first down of Washington. Troy Bacon had a rush on him, but he still threw a good pass to Blyer.
Blyer that time had the option to run inside or outside on the linebacker Dusick, number 59. Started outside, came inside, was open, made a beautiful play, and the ball was right on the money for a big game.
11 minutes to play in the 3rd period. The Steelers have scored already in this half, and they're on top 31-7. They've taken Bradshaw out, and they want to give this young fella some playing time. Mike Kruzik. They don't want him to be rusty in case something happens to Bradshaw the rest of the year. Blyer twisting and turning and going to the 32-yard line, where Pete Wysocki, buckle down Wysocki, took him. Number 50, a fighter, 5th-year player from Western Michigan. What was that song on? Buckle down, Wysocki, buckle down.
There you got it. There you got it.
Second down, 7. Steelers, 7 wins, 2 losses. Trying to stay ahead of the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Oilers. And he's to the 24. Mark Murphy tackled him. Number 29.
Another nice-looking trap play that time with the right guard trapping and blocking Dyron Talbert on the play.
Another first down. Now the Eagles. Tony Franklin. What a kicker he is. A rookie, Texas A&M. Wonder how he'll kick later on when it gets colder with that bare foot. I guess he does all right. 42-yard field goal. 16-10, the Eagles over the Browns. First down, Steelers on the Washington 24.
Looked like something left.
And you're right, left they go. Not much. Harris trapped right at the line of scrimmage, hit there by 79, Troy Bacon. Franco Harris, up in the top 5 of the all-time rushers of pro football history. Franco, 29 years old, still should have some productive years. He may go on. Trying to beat out Jimmy Brown's going to be tough, as O.J. Simpson found out. Brown didn't miss a game in 9 years of playing. 2nd and 9. Fumble the ball. And it's recovered by the Redskins. Bonnie Coleman's on it. Number 51, the young linebacker.
Looked like the young quarterback, Mike Kruzik, that time tried to get out of there too quickly, and for that reason, dropped the football. The mesh between he and the center was bad. And, of course, Washington now has possession, 1st and 10 on the 25.
Remember Monday night on CBS, The White Shadow, followed by MASH, WKRP in Cincinnati. And gambling takes a special toll on Lou Graff, all on CBS Monday night. Malone and Riggins are the running back. Theismann to Danny Buggs on a screen. 30, 35. Buggs fights his way up to the 40 of the Redskins. He has enough for a first down.
One of the few times he's thrown the ball on first down. A nice-looking play. A quick screen to the outside to Danny Buggs.
Blunt and Lambert teamed up to make the tackle. There's Coy Bacon. First down, Redskins. They're on their 40. They're trailing 31-7. Theismann has 21 passing attempts. He's completed 11. Riggins rolled out of bounds. Betty Malone rolled out of bounds. Number 25 by Jack Ham. Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Defensive ball game in the fourth period. Tampa Bay got by the Vikings last week 12-10. They're not scoring much lately, but neither is the opposition.
Yeah, that's a great thing about Tampa. Their defense has really been phenomenal all year long. They had a couple of bad games in the middle of the season, right before the middle, but they're really capable of doing a great job defensively.
The Redskins have a 2nd down 8 on their own 42-yard line. Good catch there by Don Warren, the tight end. Warren is beating Puget out right now. Warren of San Diego State. That's another first down. Look at that score. 6-6 New England to Buffalo in the third period. And that's it. Redskins hurrying out of that huddle. And again, grab a couple quick scores here and get back in this game. They protect for Theismann, and that's incomplete, intended for Riggins. Dennis Winston, Lambert, rushing hard.
Going into this game, Pittsburgh was 3rd in total defense, 5 against the rush, 6 against the pass. And offensively, the Redskins, 11 on total offense, 5 rushing, 12 passing. So it's tough for them because they really and truly want to run the football as much as they possibly can. Now they have to play catch-up football and throw the ball to get back in this game. And it's tough to do that against this fine Pittsburgh Steeler defense.
They have McDaniel in the slot. 2nd down, 10. Redskins on the Steeler 45. Deep drop. Screen to Riggins. Riggins is hit. Great play by Dennis Winston. They call him dirt. He got that in college. However, do we have a flag down? There's somebody down. That's Kuzil.
Well, Winston really made a great play on that screen.
Somebody thought that he was called dirt because he had his face in the dirt all the time. Other people said no, it's because of his hard hitting in college. He could hit the pros, too. He got the game ball last week against Dallas. He's had 3 game balls with the Steelers, and all have been against the Cowboys. Something happens to him when he plays Dallas. 3rd down, long. Incomplete. Too high for number 30, Ike Forte. And Theismann goes to the sideline. His team will have to go into punt formation. San Diego leading Kansas City 10-0 in the second. Defense gets a hand here in Three River Stadium. Bragg with his figures for the season. Boots a high one. Their catch skips into the end zone. It'll be first down for the Steelers on their own 20-yard line.
You know, Mike Bragg is really one of the great kickers in the league, and the one thing that makes him so consistently good is the fact that he drops the ball so well and hits it so square when it hits his foot.
What are they talking about here now? Our microphone to the official is out, having all kinds of technical problems. This looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Half the distance to the goal. We won't be able to get this explanation. It happened on the 10-yard line. Unsportsmanlike conduct was the call. That's the 4th penalty, 25 yards against the Steelers. Steelers have the ball on their own 5-yard line with a first down. And now a timeout. We have 5 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And our score, 31-7 in favor of Pittsburgh. That's Colquitt, the punter, practicing, but Terry Bradshaw's going into the Steeler locker room. Whether there's something wrong with him, I don't know. When they went ahead 31-7, they took him out. There's nothing wrong with his passing arm, I know that. He set a personal high for the regular season game, and he threw 4 touchdown passes. Rocky Bleier out to a 7th. Here's a story in that last penalty. Theo Bell called for a fair catch and then let the ball go and blocked the man covering, and they call unsportsmanlike conduct and penalize the Steelers half the distance to the goal. 2nd down 8. Steelers on their 7. 7-6. The Giants staying ahead of the Cowboys in the 4th period. Mike Kruzik, the Boston College quarterback, has Swan in motion. Down is Franco Harris, and these Redskins not giving up much ground. Jack Lambert, middle linebacker. Had a big holdout here against the Steelers 3 years ago. It all finally got settled. 3rd and 8. 3 wide receivers come on the field for Pittsburgh. Yeah, not too many penalties. 2 turnovers on each team. Very few sacks. Neither on either club. He's out wide open. Theo Bell. First down. And the Steelers' aerial game continues to impress.
Boy, he read that well. There you see a blitz coming. They picked him up nicely. And Theo Bell is open in the middle area. A straight arm there that gets away from one tackler, and for that reason he's able to make another 15 yards of the play.
You think he was the primary receiver?
Yes, I think he was, because there was a blitz on and he hit behind the blitzing linebacker.
First down, Steelers on their 38.
They're going to run left here, I think. Something left.
They run left. Franco Harris to the 42. 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6. For those that joined us late, now the Giants leading Dallas 14-6 in the 4th period. I don't know whether Staubach's playing in that game or not. Regardless, if the Giants hold on, their 5th win in a row. Their longest losing streak in a long time. He is playing, Staubach.
And we saw them initially against Philadelphia, and they looked like a very average football team, but they've really come on like gangbusters, haven't they?
They certainly have. Back to the days of the Gifford and Connolly. Mike Kruzik. That pass is complete to Jim Smith. That's the Swan. Plus 86, Swan's 88.
He throws the ball so you can catch it. He throws it end over end. That way you can catch it at either way, at either spot, Kurt. It doesn't slide through like when you throw a spiral.
Franklin, another field goal. The Eagles lead Cleveland 19-10 at the end of the 3rd period. Smith has kicked the field goal for New England. They lead Buffalo 9-6 midway in the 3rd period. And every score has been a field goal in that game. First down, it is 3rd down and about a foot to go for the Steelers.
See if they run left again.
On their own 48. That's Grossman in motion. They have a first down by Franco Harris to the 50-yard line. 31-7 the score here. Steelers ahead. They led 24-7 at the half. Franco Harris has 51 yards rushing. He needs to average 56 yards today and the next 6 games to reach 1,000 yards. Another 1,000-yard season for him. Right on the 50. Mike Kruzik. Out it goes. It's complete to the 39-yard line of Washington. Lynn Swan making the catch. Swan is only 172 pounds, you know. And I asked him today, is it true that your mother made you take ballet and tap dancing when you were a kid? And he said, that's right. No wonder he's so graceful.
Yes, he is graceful. And Kruzik that time really has good anticipation. Got rid of the ball nicely, and got it to him perfectly for a nice reception.
I met Mrs. Swan at the Super Bowl, the Steelers victory party down in Miami last year. Very impressive woman. I just announced the Giants score.
One thing about the 79 season has been very predictable, hasn't it, Kurt?
Oh, look at that. That was the roar and the sellout crowd here when it was announced.
It's incredible.
Leading Dallas. Well, a month ago, they wanted to fire Perkins already in his first year. Now he's a hero in New York.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a shame if the Rooneys were impetuous and did that after Chuck Noll lost 16 games.
Yeah, he won 1 and lost 13 his first year here. First down for the Steelers.
Something left. Let's see.
Franco Harris to the 36-yard line of the Redskins. Brought down by Neil Okowitz and Pete Wysocki, 2 of the pole line. And that's the end of the third quarter here at Three River Stadium. With a score of Pittsburgh 31 and Washington 7. There's the Cardinals leading the Vikings 10-0 second period. Otis Anderson ran 34 yards for a touchdown. He's second to Peyton in rushing the National Conference. Now Cincinnati's come back to tie Baltimore. Incidentally, Burt Jones re-injured his shoulder. Had to be taken from the game, and Greg Landry replaced him. This is Kurt Gowdy with Hank Stram as we open the fourth period. We've been watching an impressive aerial game today by the Super Bowl champs, 3 times the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Kruzik is in place of Terry Bradshaw, who went to the locker room. I don't believe there's anything serious wrong with him. Just took him in there. And it's second down, 7. Kruzik going on the run. Wide open at the 20 is Swan. First down. Now Swan's caught 3 in a row. Swan now has 5 catches in the game. He's nearly up to 100 yards. Stallworth has 126 yards. Is there any team with a better pair of wide receivers than these two?
I don't know who they would be. I don't know what team it would be. Swan, and amazingly, Swan came into the game with only 14 reception, and it's amazing how well the Steelers have done without him during the time he was hurt.
Shows you just how strong they are. 31-7. Pittsburgh leading. Swan in motion. Franco Harris started to go somewhere. Then they belted him down at the 9-yard line. The charge led by Neil Okowitz, number 52. He was helped by Darren Talbot, and also Pete Wysocki was there.
That time there was another trap. They loved to trap people. By that time, Sam Davis, the left guard, was trapping the defensive left tackle butts on the play, and they blew through there in good shape.
I talked about Franco needing to average 56 yards a game today in the next 6 games. If he does, it would tie him with Jimmy Brown with 7 career 1,000-yard seasons. Nobody's ever done it except Jimmy Brown. Franco could do it this year. Incomplete to Theo Bell. I think Bell thinks it was held. Joe Lavender on it. Jimmy Brown had 7 1,000-yard seasons. Franco Harris has 6 and is probably on his way to a 7th.
You know, Kruzik, the young quarterback, number 15, it doesn't look too pretty in flight, but he really has great anticipation and gets rid of the ball in good shape.
Here's the story on Bradshaw. He was taken out after he passed for his 4th touchdown pass of the day, early in the 3rd quarter. He has a slight head injury, which he received in the final play of the 1st half, and they're taking no chances with it.
See if they try to hit a back here. Nope. No chance.
I'll tell you who hit it back. It was Perry Brooks who rushed him. Number 69, Perry Brooks sacks him. That's our first sack of the game. That spots the ball at the 20-yard line of the Redskins. They lost 11. It's 4th and 16. And the field goal team comes on for the Steelers. Matt Barr.
He was looking to his right that time, and he had a back open in the left flat, but didn't see him. By the time he did, it was too late, and Brooks got the good shot at him from a pass rush standpoint.
37-yard field goal attempt by Matt Barr. Gets up. It's got the legs, but it's no good. It's to the left. That's 2 he's missed. Well, we'll return here to Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh after this word from your local station. Steve Grogan has thrown a 69-yard touchdown pass to Stanley Morgan. 2 in the game for Grogan. He leads the National Football League with 18 touchdown passes, and they're ahead by a score of 16-6. New England leading Buffalo. First down, the Redskins on their own 20-yard line. Trailing 31-7. Eyes over the head of Danny Buck. The Redskins have been checked cold here in the second half. Well, they were San Diego at the half over your old club, Hank. 10-0.
They're playing tight man-for-man coverage that time, and they were all over him like a piece of abalone that time, Kurt.
Second down 10 for the Redskins. 31-7 our score. Pittsburgh in the lead. Tom Beasley, who they want to work in all they can, has replaced Greenwood, who has hurt his knee. Time call. And Washington messed up at the line of scrimmage. Theismann goes over to Koch. And we still have 12 minutes, 48 seconds to go. And the Steelers leading 31-7. Cowboys didn't get a touchdown last week for the first time since '71. They went through 3 periods today without a touchdown. And now suddenly with 2:24 to play, Staubach threw a 33-yard pass to Drew Pearson. 14-13, the Giants over Dallas. 4th quarter. That game's moved along. We have a second down 10 for the Washington Redskins on their own 20-yard line. Harmon and Forte, the running back. Theismann on a draw, fumble by Harmon. Steelers have the ball on the 19-yard line. That was really a delayed draw play. Harmon fumbled it, never had control of it, and it's recovered by number 76, Banaszak.
They had him all spread out that time, only one back in the backfield. They wanted to create the impression that he was going to roll out. Handed the ball to Harmon, 38, on a draw play. He was hit, fumbled, and Pittsburgh has possession. 1st and 10 on the 20 going in.
Third turnover against Washington, 2 against Pittsburgh. Mike Kruzik brings him up. That's complete. The tumbling catch at the 14-yard line. Jim Smith played wingback under Bo Schembechler at Michigan. Cincinnati scored 3 touchdowns in succession now to overtake Baltimore.
It looked like Smith played shortstop on the baseball team, too, Kurt, the way he picked that one off.
Well, I recall at the Rose Bowl game, Schembechler telling me, he said, it's a shame And we don't throw the ball a lot because I got one of the best receivers we've ever had in this school, Jim Smith. And now, more and more, he's being used here at Pittsburgh. This is his 3rd year, and you'll be hearing a lot from him.
Well, there's a lot of room in the middle on some kind of a run.
They call that last pass incomplete. It hit the ground. That's Anderson. He can go 15 inside the 10. Anthony Anderson, a rookie of Temple. A lot of them say remind them of Frenchie Fuqua. Remember Frenchie, who used to wear the high-heeled shoes?
They fake inside and then give it to the young back, Anderson. A nice hole, a beautiful block out in front by Davis. And Anderson does the rest, going on the right sideline. A nice-looking run.
Frenchie had those glass slippers, those high heels, and he'd fill them with colored water and beads. And boy, what a dresser he was. 1st and goal to go. Steelers.
He looked like a Christmas tree at night, didn't he?
Right. On the Redskins 7-yard line. Truzik gives it to Anthony Anderson. He's to the 4-yard line. The other 4 players came off the Temple University squad to make the National Football League this year. And Grossman, who also plays on the Steelers, the tight end, is from Temple.
Wayne Harden, the coach there, has really done a good job with that football team. They're very exciting, and they've been able to supply the pros with some outstanding players, as you just mentioned.
They like Anderson. They take him out, and the crowd doesn't like it. They want to see the rookie stay in there. 2nd down.
Something right.
4 to go. That's Rick Moser from Rhode Island, the 2nd-year player. Knoll using them all. What a line of receivers we've had today. The Redskins have thrown passes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers. The Steelers to 6. 14 different receivers have caught passes. 10-7 now. The Cardinals over the Vikings. 3rd down. 2 to go for a touchdown.
Something left. Something left.
Off the left tackle for a score. Between guard and tackle. Rocky Blyer banged it in. Wait a minute, that's Moser. Moser, 39. Blyer was a lead man. They faked in and gave it to Moser. There's Blyer, number 20, blocking for Moser, who goes in.
And they send Grossman, the tight end, in motion to the left. And as you mentioned, Moser pumped it in there for the touchdown.
So it's 37-7 Steelers, Barr for the point. And the Steelers, who are really rolling, are out in front now, 38-7. That party. We'll be back. Mike Forte, the deep man for the Redskins. At Barr to kick it. Forte fields it on the 4. To the 20. 25, 30, 35, and out of bounds on the 41-yard line of the Redskins. I want to remind you about tonight on CBS. We have 60 Minutes. Then Archie Bunker's plays. A new cook starts dishing out the comedy there. The last continue on One Day at a Time, followed by Ellis, the Jeffersons, all on CBS tonight. And CBS Reports. Teddy. It's a lot of shows. First down. Redskins on their 41. John Liggett, 45 out to the 50 into Steeler territory to the Steeler 49. The Steelers have shut down the big backs this year where they've gone against them. Earl Campbell made only 38 yards against the Steelers. Otis Anderson, the Cardinals, 37 yards. Tony Dorsett last Sunday was held under 100 yards for the first time in 5 games. Riggins, a fine player, has 37 yards in this game. Would you say it's hard to run on these boys?
I would go way out on the limb, Kurt, and say that it is, yeah.
You would go out on the limb and say the Steelers have a good defense?
Yes, I would.
Fine. Courageous Hank Stroud has done it again. As he alluded earlier, it is going to be a second down and inches to go for the Redskins. On the Steeler 49-yard line. Malone gets the call and has a first down at the 47-yard line of Pittsburgh.
Theismann's getting an awful lot of man-for-man coverage, and surprised that he didn't try to take advantage of it more by trying to throw, especially on 1st and 10.
8 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Big lead, 38-7 Pittsburgh. Roll out left by Theismann. Sets, throws down the sideline. Oh, just off the hip. Danny Bugs was there, was tipped away, and he nearly had it. In the meantime, at Baltimore, a field goal, 41 yards, 6 seconds to go in the half. Makes the score 21-17 Cincinnati.
The Cincinnati team is going to surprise a lot of people before this season is over with. They've got a lot of talent, and they're capable of winning anytime they play.
That's what Bradshaw said before the game. It's not because they kicked us in, but he said they just got too much talent not to win some games.
I picked them second in that division before the season because I really thought they would play a major role in that division.
Well, they lost by 1 point to the Browns, overtime to Houston. Automatic first down. Legal use of the hands on the 43-yard line of Pittsburgh. Washington in possession. John Riggins cuts back. Somebody bellowed him and bumped him forward to the 35-yard line of the Steelers. Robin Cole's the man that hit him. That was a hard shot that Riggins took. He gained 8 on the play. Second down, 2 for Washington. Looks like a real scramble now in that Eastern Division. If Dallas loses today, the Redskins are about to lose here. The Eagles tied for first if they hold on to their lead against Cleveland. That's Riggins, and he's out of bounds on the 32-yard line of Pittsburgh. We'll take a look at those standings. Coming into today's game, Dallas had won 7 and lost 2. The Eagles 6-3, Washington 6-3, and the Giants 4-5. If the Giants win, and that's a big if, it's still out up there in New York. Dallas loses, they'd be 7-3. If the Eagles hold on to their lead, they'd be 7-3. Washington would be 6-4, and the Giants would be 5-5. If matters continue as they are right now, without any final scores there. First down, Washington on the Pittsburgh 32. Flare out to Riggins at the 30. They contain him, dump him at the 28. 4-yard gain.
I was surprised to see John dance around there, try to get a position on the defensive back. Anytime as a back you make a catch out on the flat like that, you've got to make a decision, right or wrong, and head for that goal line, because the minute you start to hesitate and dance around, that's when the other people come in and make the tackle, and you don't get nearly as much out of the play as you ordinarily would.
Big fourth quarter by Atlanta. Bartkowski just threw it past to Mitchell for a touchdown. Then Bubba Bean has run 60 yards for a score. It's Atlanta 17, Tampa Bay 7. Fourth quarter. Incomplete. Mel Blount was tying up Ricky Thompson, number 83.
And he really had him tied up. In fact, he was handcuffed.
I thought they might have called interference in that or holding.
It was close, but he did a good job of staying on him and covering on the pass, but the ball was thrown inside and it looked like there was a mix-up between the quarterback and the receiver.
Third down for the Redskins. 6 to go on the Steeler 28-yard line. J.T. Thomas is in. Going out is number 53, Dennis Winston.
By the way, this Pittsburgh team pursues, some kind of a reverse you would think would be very good.
They had a mess up there. They sent Thomas on the field. It's messed up. So the Steelers asked for a time with a comfortable 31-point lead. Here's an update on that Giant-Dallas game. 38 seconds to play, and Dallas is on the move and has the ball on the Giant 13-yard line, trailing 14-13. I want to remind our listeners, stay tuned for another game this afternoon on CBS on this doubleheader weekend. Third down. 6 to go. Redskins on the Steeler 28. Heisman to Thompson. No good. Boy, that was covered by the rookie, Wayne Woodruff, University of Louisville.
Well, he did a good job. Is right. It was bump and run. He changed the play at the line of scrimmage. There was a blitz coming. He read it nicely. Threw the ball on top. And Woodruff really did a great job of covering on the play.
Let's cover it here, Coach.
Goes back in the pocket, and he knows right away where he's going to throw the ball because of the bump and run coverage. Bump and run means that the defensive back is right across from the flanker, right off the line of scrimmage, and playing in man for man all the way across the field or any place on the field.
This is a fourth down play with 6 to go for the Redskins. Heisman running for the first down. Nearly had his head taken off, but he does have the first down. That was number 78, White, Mad Dog White on him. They dropped the flag in the Pittsburgh secondary. Heisman ran it just short of the Pittsburgh 20. With 6 seconds to go, Dallas is lining up for a... They just kicked a field goal. The Cowboy just kicked a 14-yard field goal with 6 seconds to go to overtake the Giants. There'll be a lot of heartbroken fans there in the Meadowlands. There it is. 6 seconds remaining. This penalty again goes against Pittsburgh. Now they correct me and tell me it is a 24-yard field goal. But Dallas is in the lead one way or the other. First down for the Redskins. On the 16. Look at the blitz is on. Heisman throws. He's got a man out there. And it is no good, but a flag also dropped in the secondary. Al Blunt was covering that play. This is against Pittsburgh. Steelers have had 2 illegal conduct penalties in the game. This puts the ball short of the 10, an automatic first down. Washington marching on penalties right now. It's not a first and goal, it's a first and 10.
Well, they got bump and run again.
They got him. That's Donnie Shell. Safety blitz by Shell.
They were a bump and run on both sides. He was trying to hit the outside receiver that time. But by the time he got the ball up in the air, or tried to get it up in the air, he was shot down there. There you see him back in the pocket. There you see the blitz coming in. Donnie Shell, number 31. Nobody touched him, and he didn't have a chance to get the ball up on top like he wanted.
There's the final. They've now officially given Seption a 22-yard field goal with 3 seconds to play. He kicked it, and Dallas rallied to beat the Giants 16-14. Second down, 20 to go for the Redskins. Another blitz is on. Heisman throws, and that's incomplete. Intended for the tight end Warren. Heisman was hit hard that time.
Winston was really flying through there that time on a blitz. He was lucky to get the ball off.
Well, when you're ahead 38-7, you can gamble on defense and blitz. Send them all in there. And that's what they're doing. Philadelphia holding on against the Browns. Sight is passed to Ozzie Newsome. 19-17, the Eagles. Forte, Clarence Harmon behind Theismann. So Thompson, no good. He was covered again.
Another bump and run, and Woodruff that time did another good job of covering on the play.
See, one thing the Steelers are doing, every year they're breaking a couple of more youngsters into their lineup. And they've got a lot of veterans, but they're not letting this club just get all old at once.
Yeah, they keep infusing young talent. And we were talking about it before the game, Kurt, as you know. We talked about the two young backs they have.
Behind that man.
And Hawthorne, Anderson, and, of course, obviously, Sidney Thornton, who is also a regular and doing a good job.
Franco Harris went over 8,000 yards today in his career. 4th down and 20. Heisman rolls it out. Goes out of bounds. They fail to make the 1st down, and the Steelers take over. And the defense gets a half. You think this was a close game the way they cheered the defense coming in. I think the one thing that has to impress you about Pittsburgh, Hank, is their balance. They can run the ball, they can pass it, they can stop the other club, they just have all-around balance.
They do whatever it takes to win, Kurt, and that's what's important.
There's the score. And a final, Atlanta beats Tampa Bay. Doug Williams passed 12 yards to Giles with 20 seconds to go. Not enough. Atlanta wins it. That gives Tampa Bay a record of 7 wins and 3 losses. Still lead their division, while Atlanta now has won 4 and lost 6. Steelers ball on their 16-yard line for the 1st down. Pittsburgh ahead, 38-7. We have 5 minutes and 9 seconds to play. Anthony Anderson pounds it out to the 19-yard line. Tackle made by number 52, Emil Okowitz, and the left tackle, veteran Dave Butts. We asked Bobby Beathard before the game. He popped in a blitz to say hello to Hank and me. What he would be looking for in the draft, and they have 6 picks in the first 5 rounds. For the Redskins, something unusual for them, and he said, well, we'll probably be looking for linemen. We have a lot of age in our defensive and offensive line.
And he's a good guy to be looking because he knows where to find him, and he did such a great job for us. His first scouting job was with us in Kansas City, and he was the one that told us about Jan Stenerud.
And he did a good job at Miami, too. Here's Anderson, 20, 25, 30, look out, 40. 45. They like this kid here, Anthony Anderson.
It's easy to understand why they do.
He's a sparkler, and he may be a find for them.
Yes, and he had a good burst there. But watch again. Here's another back running to his left with the ball in the wrong arm. He's got it in the right arm, running to his left. Now watch. Had he changed the ball, this play right here, the man coming from the inside out, he could have straight armed him and possibly gone for a longer distance, but he was handcuffed because he had the ball in the right arm.
Good point, Hank. 31-yard gain for the rookie.
Going to run right.
Leo Bell in motion. Right up the middle goes Rick Moser over the 45 of Washington to their 42. Tackled by Neil Oklowitz. They have their second string in now, the Steelers. Terry Bradshaw is in the locker room. We just received word again. Slight head injury, and he's in there taking it easy. Nothing serious, but they didn't want to take any chances with him here in the second half. He broke his all-time record. He threw 4 touchdown passes in a game. He threw for 300 and some yards. Most he's ever thrown for 311 in a regular game.
One left here, it looks like.
Second down, 2. No gain on that play. If anything, maybe a half yard. The stop by number 69, Terry Brooks, and 65, Dave Butts. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go. 38-7, another Steeler win. Boy, how they've been rolling. They went out and were slapped down by Cincinnati. They coughed the ball up 7 times. And the players said, hey, we knew we were in for it when we came home. Chuck Noll didn't blame anybody but the whole team. And we had the hardest practices we've had here in years. It paid off. They came back to crush Denver. They beat Dallas. And now they're way ahead of the Redskins. Short of the first down. So they have beaten 3 good teams in a row now since Cincinnati upset them.
And they make it look so easy. That's the thing that is so frightening, Kurt.
Yeah. Crowd yelling, go, go. 4th down and a half yard. 31-point lead. And we're approaching a 2-minute warning. Remember, another game will follow here on CBS. They're going to let the clock run down to 2 minutes. And it stops. Oh, we'll be back for the final 2 minutes of this game. 38-7, Pittsburgh. Steelers ball, 4th down, half yard to go. Just short of the Washington 40-yard line. The Steelers have the best record in the NFL since 1972. They've won 83, lost 25, and tied 1. Oakland is second, winning percent of 74. Miami and Dallas tied for 3rd with a winning percent of 73.
Well, here, see if they come left here, Kurt.
They fumble, and I believe they've got the first down.
That's the second time he's done that. He was going to reverse pivot and give it to the fullback, but evidently he tried to get away from there too quickly. Didn't get the ball, and Washington has possession.
So the Redskins take over. We have a new quarterback for the Redskins now, Kim McQuilkin. Is it the Riggins dropped at the 50-yard line. McQuilkin from Lehigh University has attempted only 1 pass this year. He's all fired up. No completions. Not hard to run his record down. 38-7 Pittsburgh. 1 minute 30 seconds to go in the game. Free and easy over there. There's Rocky Blyer. Randy Grossman. Yeah, boy. The winner's smile. And what does it say here?
How sweet it is, huh?
Second down, McQuilkin. Short one to Riggins. 45 to the 40. First down at the 38-yard line of Pittsburgh. They're rather low-key here with the Steelers. When you call the office, they don't say home of the world champs, Super Bowl. They just say Pittsburgh Steelers. Chuck Will, Bob Daly, producer and director. Ernie Bauer, our associate producer. Lou Scannon. Bob Burnham, technical director. First down, Washington. 35 seconds to play. That's incomplete to Riggins. Riggins getting a workout here in late seconds of this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's still playing at this stage of the game. You know, every game that you play, usually there's some deviation, of course, sometimes, but most of the time each team will have the ball with 13 possessions. Washington right now is in the midst of their 13th possession, and Pittsburgh only had 12.
Steelers don't even have a Super Bowl trophy pictured in their media guide.
That's surprising.
Well, I guess after 3 of them, old stuff. Second down. McQuilkin going deep. An interception by Pittsburgh. Up for the ball is Donnie Shell, number 31.
Well, McQuilkin is 3 for 3.
26 seconds remaining in the game. There goes McQuilkin off. Well, this is truly a city of champs in the last 8 years. 71, the Pirates, sparked by Clemente, won the World Series. 75, the Steelers won the Super Bowl. 76, another Super Bowl. 76, the University of Pittsburgh won the Collegiate National Championship. Tony Dorsett, the Heisman Trophy. 79, January, the Steelers, the Super Bowl. And in 79, in October, the Pirates, the World Series. They're going to spoil these folks around here. Well, how can they repeat in the 80s?
The way they're going, they'll manage it.
Mike Krzyzek puts his club down for the final 26 seconds of this game. Flag is down. I think we have an offside. Krzyzek is hit on the 14-yard line by Neil Okowitz.
You know, we talked a little bit about Tim McQuilkin. I saw him in the preseason against Tampa, and he really did a great job. Played half the game, was very impressive. So he's a fine quarterback.
All a lapper and downhill for the Steelers. 21 seconds remaining. Steelers did most of the damage on Terry Bradshaw's arm in the first half when he passed for nearly 300 yards in the first half. This is marked off against Pittsburgh. He threw one more touchdown pass early in the third period, left the game offside with a hit injury. Bill Krzyzek will put it in play again in his club on their own 7-yard line. Stands are nearly empty here. There's the rook, Anthony Anderson. He's out of bounds, and they stopped the clock with 16 to go. Bob Kimball, our statistician here for CBS. Looks like Theo Bell popped his head in the huddle and said, "Hey, I got somebody beat."
That's typical of the receiver, too. They always want to catch the ball, regardless when it might be in the game.
More. Well, they run it. They'll let it wind down now. What many thought would be a tough game for the Steelers turns into a rout. The final score, Pittsburgh 38 and Washington 7. Kurt Gowdy and Hank Stram saying stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.